Welcome to the show. Thanks for being with us. 5 on It Live begins in 10 minutes. Five on It Live begins in 9 minutes. Five on It Live begins in 8 minutes. Five on It Live begins in 7 minutes. Five on It Live begins in 6 minutes. Five on It Live begins in 5 on it live minutes. Five on it live begins in 4 minutes. Five on it live begins in 3 minutes. Five on it live begins in 2 minutes. Five on it live begins in 1 minute.
Craig. Welcome back to you. We're
We're
back,
doing it
baby.
again.
We're
We're
back.
doing it
We're
again for
back.
for all of those who were waiting, maybe patiently or impatiently, for our return. Here we are to fill your Saturday evenings, midnight on the East Coast to midnight on the West Coast of America. People have been writing in and talking to us that we needed to respect Canada and Mexico and all of the Americas, which is very true. But
It is true.
specifically, yeah, I don't know what to say. That's all the space that we had for the map. Um, we have so many new things that we're coming back with that we have been working so hard on with our producer, Chris, of course,
Hey, producer
Pippa.
Chris.
Hey, producer Chris, Pippa, our operator. Everybody, please call in. In fact, Chris, this might be a perfect time to put the number at the bottom of the screen.
There it
we go.
is.
Call now 712-345 on it, and you can talk to us about whatever you want. We would love to hear from you, and as well as our audience. That's what we're here to do, is to listen to each other.
Mhm.
Mallory, we also have another new player on our team,
We do.
our graphic effects coordinator or director or creator or whatever.
He's a bit of Swiss Army knife guy, too.
He's a
Yeah.
Swiss Army knife, and as well, he's going to be our very first musical performance this evening as Beanon, which we'll talk about later. But I have a long history with this band, and I'm just so excited to have him on. We have a lot of bells and whistles that he's added, and hopefully it's a more entertaining show. Mallory, what have you been up to this week?
Oh,
Outside of working on the
I
show,
was
which I've
just like,
seen you
what
every
what
day.
have I been doing other than
Yeah.
this? The regular, like, lots of therapy, uh, feeding my crows. Oh, making friends with other birds too. Oh, I'm in a different place. I'm still in Vancouver,
hmm
but the internet at my other place was on the kaput. So
hmm
this takes priority. So I don't know, not really being with people much except for y'all virtually, which has been really nice.
hmm hmm
Um, how about you, Craig? What you been up to?
You know, really working on this show constantly and dialing it in. But I think I was hinting at your crow army. I'm just so fascinated.
Micro
You,
army.
yeah, you've been posting pictures online and sending us pictures in the group chat of these crows that you have trained to come to your window. In fact, like
Well,
when you're walking
slow
home.
down on the
Okay, okay,
training of it all.
okay,
They
okay,
deserve
okay,
more
okay.
respect than that.
Fair, fair, fair,
In a
fair,
way, I
fair.
think they're training me too.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they're my best friends now. Uh, if anybody follows us on Instagram, and if you don't, you should do that.
Yeah.
You will have seen in the past week some of my interactions with birds, and if you follow me personally, then you might be up to speed on my developing relationship with the crows that visit me in my
And
building.
the seagulls, by the way.
Oh, wait, now seagulls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think the crows are telling the seagulls. I just think, they're all communicating with each other and letting me know I'm a good guy, and we'll feed them. Um, so yeah, it was really wild how it started. I mean, I feel like we all know that crows, or have heard tales of, humans befriending crows, and
Yeah.
that they get really protective. I don't know if you've heard, but yeah, that they remember your face forever, and then they have ways of communicating to their other crows that, like, this is a trusted human. It's wild. So
Wild.
I had heard of this, but had never experienced it firsthand. And there was one day on my balcony, like at the beginning of this year, um, where I live quite close to the water, so there's lots of birds around, and there I can see a rooftop just across from my balcony where a lot of seagulls are, and then the
Sure.
crows sort of like hang out in the trees. And there's some bird fighting going on, especially when they all have babies, then they're protective over their babies.
Uh-huh. Like
Um,
inner bird fighting or
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
bird
yeah. Like
species fighting each other?
bir- bird species. So like the
Okay.
seagulls and the crows, trying to protect their babies from each other,
Yeah.
even though I don't think that either of them would hurt, but I don't know. I
I don't
actually
know. They're
don't know.
vicious, I
I
think.
actually don't know that.
Yeah.
But anyways, I noticed this sort of like infighting happen, and I'm like, seagulls are. Well, now I like them because I just befriended one the other day. But when this first
For
started,
everybody at home, we were like on a meeting, and they were in a hotel, and behind them at their open window, just like a seagull was like, "What's up? What's up? You mind if I get a piece of bread or something?" And it was like a little crack of a window too. Sorry,
yeah, just
I'm
like
sorry, I
a
didn't
tiny
mean to
little
interrupt.
space. No, no,
Yeah.
thank you for the context. Yeah, so I like seagulls now, I guess. But I think most people would agree like seagulls are way more annoying than crows. And so I saw
I
this
agree.
like fighting happening between the species. And I think I was already thinking like, how do I befriend these crows? And I eat cashews and nuts regularly. So one of these crows was like swooping around my deck, and I wanted to make it clear to this crow that I was on its side, not the seagull's side. And so I saw this sort of like them fighting in the air, trying to protect their territory. And one time when this crow came by my deck, I put out some cashews on the table on my deck, and that was the beginning of a very beautiful relationship. Um, it is developed.
Have you named him?
Yes, it took me some time because I wanted to get to know this
Okay,
crow
how do I not
first.
know this yet?
I wanted to get to know the crow first. Also, don't tell the crows this, but they're kind of hard to tell apart. So I needed to
Yeah, you don't want to tell the crows that.
don't tell the crows that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
I wanted to take some time to make sure I was recognizing this crow and like it was the same crow. And yes, it is the same crow. And I named this crow Ivan. Um,
Ivan.
mhm.
That's
It
an
just
appropriate crow
it just
name.
really came to me, Ivan the Crow,
Yeah.
and it especially it's like I don't want to put genders on them, and at the time I was like a little uncertain, and Ivan would be a cool name no matter how the crow identifies. But I've gotten to a point now. I have like a whole narrative. So
Oh
Ivan
yeah.
shows up. So Ivan started showing up more and more, and at the same time every day. So I made sure to put uh, fruits and nuts on my deck at the same time every day. I did a lot of research. I'm on Crow Reddit. Crow Reddit is delightful. I'm following people on TikTok who have relationships. Like I'm really getting into the crow communities right now, and because I didn't want to feed them anything that was bad
I'm
for them.
amazed that there are so many. If you're involved in a crow community, please call
Please,
in right
please
now. If
call
you
it.
are a crow
Yeah.
and you can dial the phone,
I wouldn't put
really.
it past them.
God,
I
can you
really
imagine
wouldn't
if
put
a
it past
crow subscribed to our YouTube channel?
That's the ultimate goal now.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
So
okay.
anyway, I'm sorry.
No,
Crow
that's okay.
communities.
So, because I didn't want to feed them anything that was bad for them.
Yeah.
And also I learned that every crow I think, okay, I feel like crows are kind of like the cats of birds. They're very good at training people. Every crow is particular. Um,
Mm.
and I learned that Ivan loves cashews and cat treats.
Cat treats.
Yeah, and I got that suggestion from Crow Reddit. So they're safe for crows, and they love them, I guess. So I started feeding Ivan at the same day, and then one day another crow started showing up with Ivan, and
Yeah.
at this point, Ivan was very comfortable. Like he would be on. Yeah, I guess I am
Wait, and
gendering.
I don't mean to be crass, but I
No,
just
fine,
would like to know:
please.
are are you certain that Ivanism is
I know like how do birds have gender? I know this is I is this what we are gonna ask? Am I certain that Ivan's a boy?
I don't
Man.
know. I don't know.
I don't know
It's
either.
like Ivan seems okay. Maybe this is what I'm asking.
Okay.
Does Ivan appear to you to be like uh pretty masculine, like tough? I don't know why I
Well,
did this with
I was
tough,
like tough.
like tough.
Like men are so tough. Um, it's so funny because oh gosh, I feel like this intersecting of my own gender journey and like trying
Mhm.
to dismantle how I think about gender, but I'm finding myself like gendering these birds. It's
I
It's
think
a
it's
lot.
okay.
I
I
thank
didn't mean
you.
to bring
No, no,
light
no, 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 no,
on the
no.
complexities of it.
No, no, I literally have been thinking about this a lot myself, and that's why, like, I wasn't gendering it first. It was like,
But
Ivan
you
was
don't know how to look at their genitals
I
and know
no, I
one way
don't
or the
know.
other.
I mean,
Okay,
I've read
okay.
and it is
Yeah.
hard to tell,
I
but
was
it
gonna say.
once another one started showing up, and then after I read it, they do often during the day, go around in pairs, and then at night, that's when, like, the murders come together and they all, like I don't know what they
Yeah.
do at night, but here they fly into the mountains and then come back into the city in the day. It's beautiful. So Ivan started showing up with another crow. Um, and how I actually got to identify Ivan is he always looks like a little disheveled. So I guess that's why I started saying he just like seems like a sort of like a like disheveled, a little like chaotic, like I don't know, he's just always a little messy and like he just came out of like a fight or something.
Right.
Um and he got really comfortable with being on my balcony while I was out there too. So that was very cool. And then Ivan started bringing around another crow, and they seemed about the same size. And I was like, "Are they dating? Are they in love?" I think they're in love. Oh yeah, because one time I saw them in a tree nuzzling up to into each other. So that's how that narrative started to develop. I was like, "Oh, they're in love," and now I've gotten to the place where I'm pretty sure like they're like husband and wifey. Because after another like few months, I they started bringing around another crow that was definitely a baby. And the baby is chaotic and will not show up without either of them there. But I feel like I could tell that they were like teaching their baby like, "Hey, you can find food here."
Oh, that's so
Really
cool.
beautiful. Really beautiful. And so Ivan and Ivan's partner, who I have not named
You've
yet.
become like generational support.
Yeah, yes, yes, I am. I really am.
That's
That's
awesome.
nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like
You have employed generations of crows.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's gotten to the point now where, uh, I have experienced them recognizing faces because 'cause I've heard that, and, when I'm been out in my neighborhood, I've had several instances of them recognizing me. Oh, yeah. I now carry cashews in my pockets whenever
If you carry cashews in your pockets, call now. Back to you, Mallory.
I
That's great cutting, Chris. Go
uh
ahead.
I don't have many friends in Vancouver. This is all I have. Um, yeah, so I started carrying cashews in my pockets because I thought I was seeing them out in the world, and I was like, "Oh, I want them." I wanted some indication to, Ivan and Ivan's family that it
Mhm.
was me. So, I've had several instances of them recognizing me out in the world, and just like a couple of days ago, I was blocks away from my house,
Mhm.
and Ivan and his partner were there. And how I know it's Ivan now is that when he recognizes me, he does a very specific like swoop down and like circle and around me,
Oh my
and then
God.
he'll like perch on the closest like post or sign or whatever. Like he's walked me home before. He's flew me home before. Like if he sees me and sees me walking home, he'll do that. He'll like come with me, follow me home, and then he'll be waiting on my balcony when I get up there.
That's literally worth it. To have
It's
a crow follower. Now on a sincere level, and I think you're
yeah.
about to get it. How has that changed the feeling that you have when you're walking through the city?
I'm so glad you asked. It actually really has changed it because I used to when I would walk through the city, I like lots of blinders on, like earbuds in, music on loud. I'm not looking around and stuff. But
Right.
now, like the crow's caw is so my ears are so attuned to it. And especially Ivan's specific one, and I want to hear
Yeah.
it. And so it's actually made going out in the world here nicer because I feel like I'm attuned to the crows and where they are. And I don't know, like all the crows probably know Ivan. They all like hang out together. So I just want to be open just in case Ivan's told another one about me, And I'm like, I'm here. So if I see crows around, I would say hello. Like literally, I will out loud say hello. Nice to meet you. And if it's in like a not too busy place, I will give them some cashews out of my pocket.
Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like when you go out with the gang.
Yes, that is
Like
what it feels like.
you're
That is
you're
absolutely what
going
it
out
feels
with the
like.
gang, and you
I am
can
fully in
hear
cahoots
them.
with the crows.
And like that's the coolest thing is that you can be sitting in a park and not see your friends, but you can hear them fucking around, and you're like, oh, that's incredible.
I've
I'm
got
really happy you have that. That
I've
is
got
beautiful.
family here now. I mean, yeah, I've got like a
Yeah, I
few
understand.
close friends here, but yeah, no, I feel like it's truly expanded my like base here. It's made Vancouver feel a bit more like home, which is really nice.
That is awesome. That
Yeah.
is awesome. I
Have
I
you had any experiences with birds,
oh yeah.
crows?
Um
Wait.
yeah, I've had a few experiences. No. Yeah, I had this blackbird that used to perch on my window. Or I mean, I don't know if blackbirds in America are the same as blackbirds in Europe. I think that they're different, but the these always took the highest perch in the city, right? So like they if you see them around, they'd always be like on the like the TV antenna coming off the top of the building, and this one always perched right above our fire escape on the fourth floor, and its song was just so incredible, and it came there to like sing every night as the sun went down. So I have a lot of videos with that bird.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, yeah, a real
Hello, yes.
treat of a songbird.
I don't know much about blackbirds. Do you know
I'm
about
pretty sure it
how
was
they
a
make
blackbird.
songs? Okay.
Okay.
But the cool thing was is that it would I think it
All
would
right.
be
Sounds good. Thanks.
the similarity out here would be like a
Thanks. All right.
mockingbird or something, or so
That's
because they the songs are never the same. It just keeps on going on, and like it feels totally random.
So
Nothing is ever repeated.
do they like pick up sounds from the city in the ways that like mockingbirds do? Like it depends on certain
Oh,
sounds they're around because that's
I don't know. Maybe
Am
a
I
lot
that's
of
the
gonna?
places
case.
I
do that.
probably should have
Yeah.
asked
Yeah,
this before. Am I gonna be
yeah.
able
Oh,
to
yeah.
hear them on the phone? I didn't want
I've
weird
read a
feedback
lot of
stuff on
stories
their
about
end, so
crows,
I muted my.
um,
Okay,
like
cool. I
bringing
muted the TV
presents
just
to people
so I
who
wouldn't
feed
hear them
them a
Mhm.
lot.
or wouldn't create
Have
them.
you? Has
Okay,
your
cool.
crow brought anything back for
Um,
you?
so this is one thing where I'm not certain, but I am actually pretty certain because my apartment building, I'm on the 8th floor,
Mhm.
and I'd fed Ivan a few times and really had this in my head, but I had this in my head like I want Ivan to bring me something, but I decided to relieve myself of that because I'm not in this for the presents. But there was, yeah, one morning when I woke up and around the time that he comes, there was a worm right at my balcony door, and
Mhm.
like a very large like twig with a leaf on it, and there's no trees around me. Like there's no way that a worm
They
and a twig could get on my balcony. And so so I kind of took that as, because I mean, like eating can be kind
you
of hard
gotta
for me
train.
sometimes. So I feel
Yes,
like this was
exactly.
Ivan
You
being like,
gotta
I'm
train
feeding
your
you too.
crows to go get you hot dogs.
Well, not hot dogs, but yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I don't like hot dogs, but
it just feels like a hot dog would be appropriately shaped for a crow to pick
for a
up.
crow, yeah, yeah, fair. I mean, it
Yep.
is a little worm-like, just way bigger.
Yeah, big fat worm. Okay,
Yeah,
hey,
big
hey,
fat worm.
got a caller on the line,
Oh,
and that
awesome.
sounds exciting.
Great. I'd love to
Let's
talk to a
let's
caller.
jump right in. Caller,
Okay.
are you there?
Me?
Yeah, I think it
Hello.
is. Hi,
All right.
caller.
The way they patched me in, I was not certain, like, if this was like the whole recording or what was happening.
This is not the hold recording, but wouldn't it be silly if our
Rest of
hold recording went on this long, kind of conversing with you? Either way, let's just play
You're
through
on
it and see
air.
what happens at the end.
What's your name?
Okay, well, Andrew, I've been. This is my first time like watching, obviously calling too.
Oh,
I have a
awesome.
friend that's in the background of your show, like not literally right now, but like I mean, anyway, he mentioned this and that it was about birds and such. Sorry.
Okay.
I
I'm
don't
just making sure there
do
wasn't
this sort of
anybody
thing
back
very
there.
often.
Hey, Andrew, it's all good.
Hmm.
Take a breath. We're all in this together. We're so happy you
Sorry.
called. No,
It's been a
don't
long.
apologize.
It's been a
It's been
long
a
week.
long day for everybody,
Uh,
long week for everybody.
today's
Yeah, take
uh,
your time.
today's my Friday technically, so yeah.
Happy
Anyway,
Friday.
I'm gonna try and ignore your images on the TV right now, and look the other
Oh
way.
yeah,
So
that could be a little disorienting.
Yeah.
it is. It is. So you mentioned crows, and that's what prompted me to call in. I've got like
Awesome.
a history of. Okay, I don't know how to start here. I might be your most interesting person. I hope I don't like cause Beanon to take like delay them. But I've lived in the place that I am now in Oregon
Uh-huh.
for specifically about 9 years here, and at this point, I've made several. It started off with squirrels, and I would grab
Mhm.
nuts and like acorns from the park next door because they were like free, and they're just there, and I'd grab them, and eventually squirrels would come to me, and I don't know, I've read about this. I had a lot of free time, like after work and such on weekends, and they would start to eat the nuts eventually out of my hand, a couple of them, and one of them eventually bit me in this process. Sorry, we're going to get to the birds, but
I'm
I love hearing
captivated
about the
already.
squirrels too.
Yeah.
one of them bit me, and I realized that acorns are the shape of them. It's not it's not conducive to like they could mistake my thumb for part of the acorn. In
You
other
know
words,
what?
and that
I
Fair.
never
happens.
thought about that, but really, acorns are the thumbs of nuts.
Hmm. Yes,
I
and
think that's fair. We can call that a rule. Proceed,
so we switched to
Andrew.
peanuts, Chris, and
Yeah, great.
we switched to peanuts, and
Uh-huh.
which I have like one end of the peanut to hold onto and the other end for them to grab, and eventually it became like a great relationship. A bluebird eventually started to see this and would grab peanuts every once in a while when I would toss them at squirrels that were too shy to grab them from my hand, and the bluebird kept doing this, and it would really piss me off. I'm sorry, I don't know if we can swear if this is like Howard Stern, but
Yeah,
We can fucking swear.
just basically consider
fantastic.
yourself on Howard
So,
Stern.
all right.
Well,
So I would start to throw nuts at this particular bluebird or blue jay,
Uh-huh.
and eventually he would start to like come closer and closer and just hang out before the squirrels would even show up. Like he would see me, like, hey, oh my god, look at you, and sit on this fence that I would sit at, and I'm like, all right, let's see how far we can go here. So I would hold him in my hand really close to the ground, and he would hop over and grab him out of my hand that way, and eventually he held my hand up, and eventually he'd land in my hand, and that's where it all. It was a really quick thing until I discovered you can unshell the nuts. I'm gonna listen to this
That's
tomorrow
incredible.
probably and think
Wait,
oh
so
my
can
god,
you please?
I've had a couple of beers. I
Oh,
give
Andrew,
myself
it's
that.
quite all
hey,
right, and
Andrew,
please, yeah. This is
this
a
has been
lovely
a
story.
really great call you're
Yeah.
doing. I'm so interested to learn more.
So
So
Frankie, now it's been a little over 2 years, and every single day, like it's all day routine. Like morning, I know
No
when
so
he's
way.
going to show up.
you named the
I
bluebird Frankie?
Frankie, like, well, start off Frank Rizzo because I thought it was a guy, and I realized from researching them, like her demeanor and everything, it's obviously a woman. And
Okay.
you say woman? That sounds weird. Woman,
I know it does, right? To call a bird a
female,
woman or a
female.
man. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Huh.
so right. So, um, Frankie, for short, there was a. I grew up in Kansas. This is how I know Brody, and there was a beautiful DJ back there called Frankie when I was growing up, and lovely voice. That's where I was able to transition to Frankie.
Uh-huh.
Like, all right, that's fine. It
Cool.
can be a woman. It's Frankie.
Yeah.
so,
I love that.
So,
so there we go. And then while
when
all
you
this is
say
happening, all of the.
bluebird, I just real
I'm
quick,
sorry. Go ahead.
when you say bluebird, I'm picturing like a like Snow White bluebird, like a little round blue, like bright blue
Oh
ball,
no,
or is it?
no.
Oh, okay.
No, I feel so terrible about this. It's like a scrub jay, technically, and they're like little murderers. And I know what
Ooh.
she's doing when I'm not around feeding her peanuts. She's like raiding nests. There's robins that absolutely chase her around and hate her because I'm sure she's eaten their babies. And I hate that I'm
Oh,
contributing to this, but at the same time, it's like you've got to.
Well,
whoa.
that's not
You
on
know what?
you.
I'm going to say it. got a fucking bird landing in your hand, you're not going to say no to that.
Of
just
course
because
you're gonna
like,
feed it. Of
of
course.
course, right?
Of course. You're not
And
a part of their like
it makes me feel like Cinderella
ecosystem.
every single
Oh,
day. Wait,
I
not
know.
Cinderella, Snow White, much more accurate.
Oh,
But
Snow White is more accurate, but I'm getting you feel like a
yeah,
princess, and that's nice.
That's incredible.
Mhm.
So have you noticed that
I know exactly what you're going
the
to ask. It's transitioned into crows. Yes, that's why I called in the first place. Now there's a murder of crows that follow me around when I'm walking.
Oh, I've met my people. That's so wonderful. How many? How many do you have?
crows?
How do I get more?
At largest count that I've seen at one point has been probably between 12. It's hard to count because I'll like walk and just toss nuts behind me, and I know they're following me,
Mm.
and sometimes they'll like run, or I said run, like fly right in front of me and land like right in front of me on the sidewalk, and like, hey buddy, and I'm like, here you go, and like, and if I go outside without like a pocket full of peanuts, then I'm like, I feel horrible. I have to run back in
I
sometimes.
know. Me too, Andrew. Me too.
All right.
And people have laughed. People
Crazy.
keep laughing at me that
Incredible.
I like have cashews in my pockets always, but you got to be prepared if you want to make friends with the birds.
Yep. Are your pockets
That's
full of like
crazy.
you're constantly having to empty out like peanut dust and residue
Yeah,
from the
actually,
shelves?
it's so funny. I woke up in this new place this morning and there's cashews all over the floor because I just like they're in all of my pockets. So whenever I like take my like pants or shorts off, cashews are it's falling. It's like now in my washing machine when I do laundry. Yeah, but I've accepted this problem. It's worth it. It's worth
Okay,
it.
for everybody at home
Really is.
that's as dumb as I am, are we doing raw cashews? Are we doing salted
Yeah,
cashews?
no, you
Okay.
can't. You're
No
supposed
salt.
to no
Okay.
salt, roasted, salted, not good
Glad
for
I
birds.
asked.
Yeah, no,
Glad I
actually,
asked.
really good that you asked. Yeah, um, and I've heard like some crows prefer peanuts. I get mine just prefer cashews. I don't know why,
I do
but
peanuts,
Because you had
and
cashews.
I honestly I did the raw for quite a while, but this might be terrible. But I did look into this. If they're roasted but unsalted still, I
oh,
think
okay.
it's like a treat.
So it's like a treat. Oh, great. Thank you for that
They
information.
just
That's good.
devour them, and they're much cheaper from the grocery store to get it that way. You can get like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the
Yep.
same amount that you would get raw, like twice the amount for half
But
the price.
roasted, yeah, it
It's
is cheaper to get roasted than raw.
mm-hmm.
You should try cat treats. Mine love cat treats. And again, they are safe for them. And what I'll do is like I'll give them a few cat treats because they eat those right away. And then they store the cashews in their mouths and then fly them over. And I imagine they're bringing them to their kids or whatever. So I'm like, here's some treats just for you to eat. And here's some cashews for your family. Try
Yeah,
cat
but what?
treats.
Okay, what about with like the extra nutrients and the things they're putting in the cat treats? Like,
I mean, I've done
are you
as
creating a new super breed of some
oh,
animal that
maybe.
can't exist?
Maybe. I mean, I am trusting the like Reddit crow community. That's where I got the idea was like the Tasties cat, whatever cat treats that everybody knows. That apparently they are safe and fine. And I haven't heard that they have made mutants out of crows, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Andrew, thank you so much
Andrew,
for calling in.
yeah, what a great call.
Really
Absolutely
beautiful
fantastic
call.
call. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
thanks
please,
so much for having me.
and stick around. Obviously, yes, Brody Beanon will be playing later on in the show. We're so excited for that. Andrew, please call back again. And Chris,
Mhm.
if you could go ahead and throw us into a little bit of a commercial break.
Oh, we good.
Okay.
Andrew, it's so great talking to you, and we hope that you keep watching and listening. This is delightful.
And
Wow.
we're bam.
Wow.
I
That was
hear
well, I mean, I've found my people and I think maybe are ready for a commercial now.
commercial. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
go ahead,
Go ahead.
Craig. Oh, I will do it. Hey, producer Chris, let's see that commercial.
The power and beauty of flight can now be yours with Les Bird. Les Bird, the incredible flying machine, is made of durable space-age polymers with super strong mylar wings designed for years of dependable use. And it's easy to use. Simply wind the crank, hold the bird in the palm of your hand, and release the switch. LeBird does the rest. Flying just like a real bird up to 200 feet. Take it to the park, on picnics, to the beach, even in your own backyard. Millions have been sold throughout the world. And now, through this special TV offer, you'll receive 2 Laybirds for just $19.95, a $30 value for just $19.95. So order today and bring the power and beauty of flight to you and your family with Laybird.
No CODs can be accepted for Laybird, so use your credit card and call toll-free 1-800-342-3000. 1-800-342-3000.
Who looks exactly the way that I look? Me. And I am reading who's holding the book. Me, wonderful me.
Sesame Street's Big Bird Story Magic with storybook and cassette.
Attack! They rose above the jungle. New battle birds.
Battle birds!
Airplanes become battling birds of prey. Heroic Skypice clutches his claws. Night Slayer shows his dark side.
Battle birds!
But Pterodactyl is tearing up the sky. Part plane, part battle bird.
Attack Pack Battle Birds! Unleash the beast!
Attack Pack battle bird vehicles, each sold separately only from Hot Wheels.
Hello. Thank you for taking this call. Fire on it. This is Samuel from Seattle, and anyone who's hearing this, I extend my love to, and I look forward to talking amongst ourselves on Fire on It Live Saturday nights. Good night.
That was a really lovely voicemail from our friend Sam. Thanks for that. That was so nice.
Makes me feel so happy to get a voicemail. You know how rare it is to get a voicemail nowadays? I mean, from some people, I get voice notes. Why are
Right.
voice notes less hard to get to than a voicemail?
Well, because you got to call someone to leave a voicemail, and I don't like calling people.
I'm that guy. You know, I'm that guy that calls. all
You
the
you are
time. I
actually, you
call.
have forced
People
me to
text
kind
me,
of
and then I
be
call.
open to it. I know. You've, yeah, really forced me into being cool with accepting calls.
I got too much to say for a text.
Fair. I mean, that's why I do voice notes and voice messages, but a call is arguably easier.
Fair. Fair.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you open up a voice note and you're like, okay, and then you're like, oh wait, I didn't realize what I was getting into. This is 8
It
minutes
can
long.
be. It can be a lot. Yeah. Well, it's like it's like a individual
Uh,
podcast sometimes. I think that we
Okay.
have another caller.
Yeah. Let's go to
Let's go to
let's
another
go to Snicky.
caller.
Yep.
Hello?
Caller. Hi.
Hello, is this Snicky?
Snicky?
This is Snicky calling.
Hi.
Lovely. Lovely.
Yay.
Long time listener, first time on the line with 5 on it from
Yeah.
So
Eastern
happy to hear from
Canada.
you, Snicky.
Oh, we're so happy to have you here, Snicky. What do you want to talk about?
It's great to, well, it's great to be listening so far to Mallory's crow adventures. My goodness.
Thank you.
I'm thrilled that you're getting to experience the magic of birds and everything that they can bring to your world. They're so phenomenal. They're nature's little magicians, and they're so comedic and formidable, and they just have so much personality, and people, I guess, we take them for granted, and I love that you're getting to this experience with your crow army.
Thank you so much, Snicky. And I mean, it sounds like you have some personal
Yeah, I had no
relationships
idea.
with birds. But
Yeah.
I love, first of all, just like the respect that you're putting on birds, because I've been thinking a lot about all the like colloquialisms and idioms of like bird brained, or all that all of the ways that humans refer to birds as, and it's always like, oh, they're kind of
Birds.
dummies, and
Oh yeah.
they're not.
And it deserves to be challenged, and luckily it has been in a few ways very, very significantly. It's like I encourage people to look up Dr. Irene Pepperberg, who's been so instrumental in shedding a lot of light into how much birds, their problem solving and their intelligence level, and some of their puzzle work is off the charts, in tune to possibly even primate levels, and it's just incredible. Her work with African gray parrots is just unbelievable. It's so worth looking up if you're interested in how smart birds can be. Yeah.
Have you experienced any of this stuff firsthand? Any of like the puzzles or
Oh,
building or anything?
yeah.
Wait, birds
Totally.
build?
I've
Oh
been
wait,
lucky
birds
enough.
build nests.
They build nests. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
lucky enough to have shared my life with a few parrot species, and they're so cool. I raised a white-bellied kayik from the time he was a baby, and I had him for almost 15 years, and he was just a little delight. And his puzzle solving was pretty good. He could learn to. You would buy him a toy, like something that would unlock in sequence, and he would learn it in like a day, and then it was just there was no challenge to it anymore. He just had it figured out. And so if there were two locks on a box that you had to unlock to get the food out, he'd figure it right out. And so it was just, okay, two locks, that's nothing. Like, that's
Were
just
you ever
mental
able to
pat.
like train him to uh him to do chores for you, like go get the paper, but start the coffee? Those are the only things I can think of. Wait, do they even make papers?
I never trained him to do anything as useful as manual labor, but but he was real cool. Like, and he would learn. They have a sense of humor. He would learn to do stuff like, he would learn like what makes us laugh. Like he would drop if he dropped things. Genuinely, I would laugh. Generally, if he dropped something off the top of his cage, so he would run, grab a toy off the top of his cage and throw it, and then laugh at himself because he learned to laugh.
Oh my god.
He laughed at his own jokes.
I love
Oh
that.
my, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah,
good.
unbelievable. And I mean, he was as smart as a whip, and he is considered moderately intelligent for a parrot species, and he's laughing at his own jokes. I mean, come on.
He's pretty
These
smart.
African grays are like driving cars and doing taxes, you know what I mean?
Wow. And how
And
much does it
crows-
cost?
crows
Because
are
I'm
right
trying to.
up there.
Yeah. They're smart. Again, my crows are training me a bit. Did you ever find that sneaky? Like, did you find that your birds like trained you in some ways?
Oh,
You know?
absolutely. I was really bad for giving him the kind of treats he wanted when he would ask for them specifically. Like,
It's so
he
hard
would just
not
be like,
to.
peanut butter. Yeah, and I'd be like, okay, I guess I got to give you some stuff. Like, you literally.
Wait,
just
he would say
asked
peanut
me
butter out loud?
specifically.
Is that what?
He would say peanut butter. That was his favorite treat, is peanut butter. So he would ask. He would say peanut butter, and I'd say peanut butter, and
Wow.
he'd go, yeah, peanut butter. So it was.
Wow.
You'd pretty much have to deliver.
Yeah, you can't not. How did you get into birds in the first place? 'Cause I feel like I don't know how one gets introduced to having one as a pet, you know, how you decide to have
I
one or live
know.
with
It
one.
was not.
I want to say you lived with one, not it wasn't a pet. You cohabitated with birds.
We were roommates.
You were roommates.
Yeah. I actually never considered a bird. Like, I think it was because I lived in the city and I really wanted a dog. And my partner at the time, his aunt, I think, had a lovebird, and his family suggested, why don't you get a bird? And I was like, well, I never really thought about it, but it sounds kind of cool. And I took my first trip out to a bird rescue, a local bird rescue,
Oh,
and I was
nice.
hooked. and I found a little lovebird there that didn't have a home, and brought him home, and that was my first bird, was Buddy the lovebird. And let me tell you, those guys are fun.
Ooh, how are they different than parrots? How are they different?
Yeah, what's a lovebird?
Yeah.
They're a very small, very robust breed of parrot. They're
I
smaller
always
than the
knew I
parrot
was
that
a lovebird.
That's Craig.
They're like they're like the size of a pickle, but they have so much personality that's
Pickle
packed
with
into this cute little-
personality.
I mean, that's all I
and
ever
wings
want.
to
Yeah.
boot. Sounds like my
Yeah.
hero. But seriously, what do
Yeah,
they look like?
yeah, yeah.
What do they look like? I have to see. I have to
What do
see
they
a
look
bird.
like?
I have to
Lovebirds?
see a lovebird.
They come in all kinds of colors. Mine was green with a little red face. He was a peach faced
Oh,
lovebird.
God.
Yeah, yeah. He
Why are
was
they called
adorable.
lovebirds?
that's a good question.
That is a good question. I don't know. That's probably not their original name, but they're from Africa, so they probably have like a local name or
Right.
a more specific name. But
Wikipedia says that they're known for their loving relationship and their bonds with their mates, that they
That's
bond and mate
true.
for life.
So did you have two,
It is recommended you.
Sneaky?
I didn't. It is recommended you keep them in twos, but I just
Ooh.
had one guy because I wanted him to be like bonded to me.
Let's be
Well, then
honest.
you were
he
the other
probably-
one.
So
and he
apparently,
probably deserved it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we
You
were
know,
we were
man.
buddies.
No, but then yeah, you're the other lovebird in that situation. Then.
Yeah,
I guess so.
You kind of become like the partner. Yeah.
Yeah, it's companionship. So that, man, I think I have to bond with a bird. Although, what would I do that a bird wants to do? I don't really hang out. I don't go out. Like what?
Have you ever thought of getting a bird, Craig?
No, I'll tell you, Snicky, that I don't have much experience with domesticated birds at all outside of that I worked on a lot of shows with magicians, and in particular, and I won't name names, but I worked a lot with a particular magician that was a bird magician, and it was so repulsive to me how he was just like shoving birds in his jacket, all night long, and
Oh my
popping them
God,
out,
yeah, stuffing
you
them
know,
into
and
boxes
and then all
yeah.
night long there was a giant parrot in his leather jacket that he would like make his finale, just like a giant parrot in his neck
Yeah.
all night long.
Humans are the worst.
It's a weird
We
thing.
are
I
the
mean,
worst.
that's
Well, that's why I love that you got one, Nikki, you said you got it from a rescue, because I think we all, know how humans can exploit animals and like birds especially, because I don't love the idea of like fully domesticating them, but then some of them have been, and then, they're treated bad. So I'm glad that one of them got to spend its life with you, Sneaky.
and I would
Aw,
actually like to ask,
interesting.
if it's not putting you on the spot, and I don't mean to sound judgmental, but did you ever feel like a little bit did you feel like you were taking away flight and the world as their oyster away from them in any way? Did you ever feel like they were longing for the
know.
sky?
Well, it's hard because you feel a little funny. Like, I bought a bird that was a first generation, or it would have come from first generation birds that would have been bought directly from Brazil. Like, it's funny when you think about, like, you're not supporting a trade directly like bird smuggling, but you bought the grandbabies of the smuggled birds, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like
Wow.
there's a bit of that.
Yeah.
You feel a little guilty, even if you're buying from a reputable breeder. You're buying the generational babies of who were smuggled away from home, which is, it's a weird thing to say. They're raised in when once they're
Sure.
born, they're removed from their parents and hand raised by people. So they're not domesticated fully like a dog, or they never will be, but they have like an attachment to people that makes
Right.
them more comfortable as pets. And even to the point where, like, my lovebird, his cage was his place that he preferred, and because that's all they know. And it's like,
Right.
is that the right
Mm.
thing? It's a weird catch-22. You feel like you do feel a little guilty and a little weird sometimes. Yeah, you feel
Did you ever
strange
feel
a
like it
little
was
bit.
in them to like did you see them like longing for the sky, or did you ever see them outside? Was that ever something that you did with
Mm.
your bird?
I did. I would put them in travel
Oh,
cages
whoa.
and take them out on the deck.
Oh,
So they just
that's
get out in
nice.
the sun, and that's how they get some of their vitamin D. So it's actually
That's
recommended you
nice.
do take them outside and they get some sunlight. But it's like
Sure.
they were more stressed out by the sound of wild birds, thinking that they were going to be like
Right.
attacked or something.
Hmm.
They felt like it was
Right.
almost like you could see them sort of reacting like, am I in a safe place? Because there's just more going on. It's like, sounds like traffic or something to
Wow,
them,
that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
no.
And just
Wow.
the way that
Yeah.
we humans have, domesticated, I mean, and domesticate, it just is a tricky situation, where it's like we got to help we've gotten ourselves into an impossible situation in some ways where like we've done this, so we got to help them, but like it feels bad.
I'd like to think that
Yeah.
you happen to have, and anybody else decent out there happens to have, like what has to be in bird society, the the lazy guy. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be going out and hunting for worms. I'm very happy inside of a house watching The Simpsons, getting my water out of a
Getting the
little
peanut butter.
bottle. Yeah, could you make the water a little bit colder, please? You know how much bacteria is in like Brazil nature water, I think. You know? I mean, so let's just consider the fact that you gave an easy
Mhm.
life to this
Yeah.
bird from Brazil,
Mhm.
and they're very thankful for it. In fact, I could be that bird, and I'd be very happy to live in your cage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
If I were a bird, I would like a Snicky as my human for
Yeah.
sure.
I
My
would like
goodness.
to I would like to ask another question though, since
Yeah.
you've like raised birds and you've really been around them, have you felt like, okay, I have a connection with my dog that I think that trumps most people's connection with their children, and
Yeah.
that's silly, but also it's kind of the truth inside of my head, meaning that like there's so much personification that's going on. There's so much like emotional, like not just uh like that this animal is there for me, more so that it's uh like they share their feelings with me and I share my feel, and we both listen to each other. But I don't know how much of that is
Mm.
in my head. Anyway, did you ever feel that way about the bird that you were living with, like they were looking at you and they were trying to emote and you felt it?
I I definitely feel like my larger parrot breed had some. I mean, they all do. They're all kind of like intuitive about what you're doing, but he really, I felt like he could read me very well. Yeah, if that answers
Yeah.
your question.
Wow.
And
Yeah, I guess
and
so. I mean, huh.
Yeah.
Did it ever like lay its feelings on you?
Mm.
I don't know. There's so much to them. They they will literally like learn as babies to scream when you leave the room. So you have to
Scream.
it's so funny. They do it like they're trying to scream for their parents. So you have to teach them a contact call that you prefer so that they're not just screaming when you leave the room. So
That's
there
in the
was a
bird
whistle
manual.
that I would
Wow.
there was a whistle that I had to do when I left the room. And if I was out of the, if
Oh,
you're
cool.
upstairs or if you're in another room and he doesn't know what part of the house you're in, he'll do this whistle, and then you whistle back, and then he knows where you are. And it's like 100 little things like that, and you wonder, like, this is like a little person in a cage. Like,
Yeah.
you know, this
Sneaky,
is like, uh,
can you do
yeah.
the whistle? Can you do the whistle?
Oh,
It was
it's
just like,
just a certain tone.
oh, one note. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. So it wasn't like a melody or anything, just a
yeah.
Oh.
certain tone. Okay. I was,
Yeah, I would
I
have
was like,
loved
I was
that.
like,
He could sing.
I would have really
No,
loved
no,
that.
yeah.
but boy, could he sing. He'd whip you off a Jurassic Park any day.
Do you have a bird now?
I do. I have a budgie that I bought from a disreputable breeder.
Uh-huh. Uh-oh.
Because I was so
what's
sad.
a ruppy?
My parrot. Oh, a disreputable breeder.
Oh,
I
okay.
Budgie.
yeah.
Budgie.
Yeah, I bought a budgie, and
Wait, what's
his
a
name is Beep, and he's
Yeah, what's a
budgie is
budgie?
type
What's
of
a
bird?
budgie, Sneaky? I think they're really, are they really little?
yeah, sorry. He's really quite small. Yeah, he's the smallest. He's not the smallest hookbill, but he's almost the smallest hookbill there is.
What's
It's
a
like,
hookbill?
doesn't get any
Sneaky,
more
you're using
smaller
words we don't know.
parrot than that.
What's a hookbill? Is it exactly what it sounds like?
Oh, like a parrot, just like
Okay.
the breed of
Okay.
parrot that he is. Yeah, yeah.
You were
he's
a
a real
perfect
tiny
person to
little
call
guy.
in because you know a lot about. Yeah, you're using words and like hookbill parrots. I feel like I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I could talk birds all day. I don't want to tie up your line.
Birds. Well,
Birds,
Snicky,
birds. This
I'm
is
very happy you called in.
delightful.
Can you make this the first of many and maybe come and call and talk to us
Yeah,
about bird
please.
stories
I
and
will.
And other things.
anything
Oh
else?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
anything
is
else
so
would be
good.
great. Anything and birds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah,
I do. I have a
absolutely.
budgie right now, and he's rocking my world, and just loving it. And we're all
What's his
loving
name?
5 on it live.
What's his
His
name?
name is Beep.
Beak
Beep.
or beep?
Beep. Like beep.
Like
Beep,
the
beep.
noise, like the car
Like the
horn.
noise. Oh,
Beep.
great.
Yeah.
Beep. Okay, well,
That's a
say
great
hello
bird.
to Beep for us, please.
That's a great bird
Oh,
name.
that is a great bird name.
Yeah.
Beep the budgie.
Beep. We have a bird fan. Beep.
Beep the
the
budgie.
bird fan. Sticky, thank you so
Yeah.
much for calling
Your
in.
first bird
Can't wait to
fan.
hear from you again. Love you.
Oh, love you guys so much. Thanks for making such a cool space for the weirdos and the dreamers. We love you. We love you
That's
so
it.
much. Oh, thanks again.
Aw, Sneaky.
Thank you for being a
Thank
dreamer and a
you.
lover and a weirdo
And a
and all
weirdo.
of that stuff.
Yeah.
And if you are that as well, please call in.
Call
We wanna be your
in.
friend as well.
Call
Not
in.
just us. I understand how I can be a little off-putting. Talk to Mal.
we balance each other out nicely. If I'm a little too nice and explain too much or say sorry too much, then you can talk to Craig.
Yeah, you
And if
know,
he's a little too rough for you, then just come to me. It's fine.
I don't think I'm
We got
really
you
that
covered.
rough.
No, you're not.
Although I was at work today
Yeah.
and some of the guys that were on this crew that I was working, they left their radio on when they were done talking to me. And they said, I heard one of them say, man, Craig is really like a Sith. And they all went, yeah. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
What?
I don't think Siths were good guy, but
They
I also think that it wasn't. I think that these guys and I get along. Maybe I'm delusional, so I don't think it was a negative thing. But it did have my heart beating as I was walking back. Like, should I bring this up and make a joke out of it? But then I just thought that I wouldn't. I don't think it
Ooh,
would.
I'm
I think that they
curious.
meant it lovingly, but I don't think I understand the
I could
reference.
see it being in a like, because as somebody who works with you, hey, did you know we work together? You can, like you can get into a zone that can feel maybe like
Yeah, I get into a zone
like
sometimes.
I don't want to use too extreme of a word, but maybe that's why they said Sith, because I was gonna say like militant, but you're not militant. But so maybe it's more like fantastical. So that's Sith like, where it's like you get laser focused and like in the zone and on a thing, and but interesting.
Yeah, that's really
Interesting take.
I mean, you tried. You tried really.
I really did.
I
I tried really
I
hard. I
tried the
tried
same
really
thing
hard.
that you tried, and then you come back and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know. You might have to ask them. If anybody has any takes on
If they're
why
listening,
Craig might be a
send them a
Sith.
link. Whatever. Live TV, everybody. Well, we have curated a little cartoon for everybody this evening, and so, Chris, let's go to that.
Hi, Murky on the red, Rose on the red day. Can you hear the flowing, ting, ting? Can you hear the road? Diner by your horn, diner by your horn, you horn, horn. Diner by your horn, diner by your horn, you horn. I'm in the kitchen when Dino. I'm in the kitchen with Dino. Let me on bingo. John is on the barn. John, shh, be quiet. You don't want to wake everyone up. Red Birdie. You know he flew away. Away, away. I'm a birdie. We're gonna catch the bird. Follow me. Birdie gang, and fly up high, and you'll scare it away. Birds are shy. And they could break very easily, and they could fly up there. You be quiet, Marky. This is the place. I do a cat, and a do. A car roll over a moon. Yo lo que así está por and I just ran away. You hold the bait. That's just Tangy. Nancy, now we're gonna dig a hole. What? Dig, 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 dig. Okay, Mary. We're gonna spread the bait, and we're going to take a little peek and roll the rope over. And also, just in case we're going to catch a little bird, let's take off. We're going to use the house. Big, big, big hole. I'm dig. No, let me dig the hole. No, you not. Not Mary dig a hole. No! The shovel's too big. I have to dig the hole. No, dig a hole. Dig a hole. Dig the hole. You can't dig the hole. Yes, I could. No, you can't. You could dig the hole. Here's the shovel. I had to dig the hole. No, I had to dig the hole. You can dig the hole. Here. You should make so much noise. You'll wake Mommy, Daddy up, and they'll say we have to go home. No. Now you give me the bait. No, it's Tangy. That's our bait. Bait for the bird.
And now, I'm very excited to announce our very first musical performance, Be Non.
Hello, dear, it's nice to meet you. I'm here because I'm feeling incomplete. I never got your name because I never tried. And I can't shake emotions that I have inside. You move me, and I don't know why. You move me until I cry. And now it's nice to meet you. I'm now over the moon, never to come back. And now that I'm over you, on this day, a million miles away, you told me that you could not ever love again. I climbed aboard my vessel and you waved to me goodbye. I never knew you had blue tears behind your eyes. You moved me through the distant skies. You moved me until I died. And now I have to leave you. I'm now over the moon, never to come back. And now that I'm over you, 'cause now that I'm insane, aftermath remains. It's time to face the facts. Then back, I'll love you just the same as rocket engine flame. Since that day's come, it's multiplied. Fantastic tales of living out alive. I wanted to explain the fear behind my eyes. I wanted you to know the painful plight. You move me, and I don't know why. I'm now over the moon, never to come back. And now that I'm over you,
Can't hear Craig.
Oh no! Oh, you wouldn't believe what I just said. I'll never remember. I'll never remember what I just said, but it was so profound. But wasn't that just lovely, Mallory?
I blown away. I for our first musical guest. What a gift. So beautiful.
You know, I know Brody from a long time ago. We worked on this project together. He has this amazing band named called Beanon, and this is one of their songs. And we worked on this like it was like a rock opera. It was like it was set in outer space, and he was showing us all these songs that he wrote, and he played me this song, and I haven't heard it in maybe over 10 years. And we were talking about musical guests, and the very first name that popped into my head was the first song that popped into my head was that song. I thought, how appropriate and beautiful for our setting, and it really hit the spot for me.
It's perfect. I mean, every time I've heard it, I tear up a little.
Yeah.
It's perfect for our vibes. It's real late night, wistful, sweet, tender. Ugh.
I hope you enjoyed it at home as well, and we're so excited to bring more musical guests to you,
Hmm.
more art. Not only did this amazing thing work out with Brody to be our musical guest, but he has become really part of our team.
Hmm.
Again, all of these graphics
That
and
new intro
that new
graphic we
intro, that's
had, he
all
put together.
Brody.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just so excited to have him on, and we
Yeah.
will see another performance from Beanon later on in the show. So stick around for that. And right now, we have another caller on the line.
Ooh.
Caller, are you there?
I am here. Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Wonderful.
calling. What's your
This is very
name?
exciting.
My name is Brandon, and I'm calling from Kansas City, Missouri.
Brandon Leffridge.
Okay. Oh.
Wow.
Filled in quickly with the last name.
I forgot that he was calling.
Yeah, it's like you gotta be careful. Yeah. Hi,
yeah,
Brandon.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Sorry.
So
Calling from Kansas
it's
City.
fine.
Hey, Brandon, what would you like to talk about?
Well, so I don't know Mallory, but I've known Greg now for I don't know over 30 years. You're close to 30 years.
Yeah,
that's a long
So
time.
we go way back, and so I was very excited when he told me that the theme of tonight's show was about birds. So I've got a lot of thoughts on birds, and
Right.
so I wanted to share some thoughts I have about birds, specifically one that ties to myself and Greg. I'd mentioned that we've known each other for several years, close to 30, right? Wouldn't you say?
Wow. Do we own a bird together? Yeah, I would say at least 30. I would say at least 30 years. Yes. And Brandon, it is like I'm sorry for doing what I did earlier, but I was like my heart flutters when I heard your voice there. It's really, really so nice. So yes, please include me on this memory regarding birds. I can't wait to hear it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, first, I would like to apologize if I do sound a little seductive or
Yeah.
sultry.
You always have.
It's after midnight now in Kansas City, and I'm never up this late. And
Thank you
so
for cluing us
and
in. Happy midnight. Happy
Right.
midnight.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Brandon, like it was performed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got midnight in the central time zone.
Yeah.
So thank you for celebrating that with us. On cue with our midnight across America theme.
Mhm.
And you have brought in the Central Coast where I was born and raised and where I met you. Lovely.
Yes, where you met me and where, again, great segue, Craig, that we joined, we started a street gang at one point in our formative years. So I would like to take you back to our high school
I can't wait.
era. We himself and I won't use last names because I understand how
Yeah,
close he is
yeah.
other-
Oh
other
man.
folks.
We'll edit that out
Thank
in
you,
post.
Brandon,
Yeah,
for
we'll bleep that out in post.
responsible.
Okay, I know what this is about.
Craig,
Mhm.
Tanner, Devin, a handful of gentlemen. We started a street gang, and we were called the A-Birds.
Naturally.
And of course. And
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
because why?
Yeah,
Because
why?
every tough, and actually, this is really important to mention, and I can't believe I didn't think about this earlier. Every tough street gang is named after a bird. You know, like
Sure.
I don't think-
T-birds,
I don't-
A-birds. Am I the only one that thinks that?
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay,
No,
wait.
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this, okay, this is just a me
Yeah, I
thing.
think you
okay.
are.
Okay. Right. Go ahead. Yeah. Go.
Well, so and if you recall the name A-Birds, how that A originated, it actually, Craig, stood for abortion.
I believe
And-
I do remember that. Well, we were very
Okay.
pro-choice.
No, I
we
think
were
no.
very, very,
were.
very pro-choice.
I'm deeply interested.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so and we lived in I think a relatively conservative community. Would you say that, Brandon?
I would, although I am pleased to note that there are quite a few. There are much fewer Trump signs around in this area this go round. So
That's
That's
makes my
nice.
heart
really
happy.
good to hear. Are
Yeah,
you seeing
it
are you seeing people supporting like Kamala
RFK
Harris?
Jr. It's just all RFK Jr. as far as the eye can see. So no, yeah, there are quite a few Harris Wall signs,
Wow.
like way more Biden signs than I used to see. My neighbor
Wow.
diagonal, and I live very near Craig's parents actually.
Where he
I could
lives, you could actually throw a rock from where I grew up to his house. Actually, the house, I think that the house that he lives in, if I'm not mistaken, because he sent me photos, it was the very first and only time I ever babysat anybody, but it was the only house I ever babysat in.
He wasn't babysitting me.
I was okay. Thank you.
I
I'm
don't
like,
want that
I
to
was like,
be.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to ask this, given it sounds like you were
No.
peers and in the street gang together. So, yeah, yeah, babysit.
So
Okay, so yeah.
No,
Thank
I
you for
remember going
thanks for
out.
clarifying, Brandon. Yeah.
So as
Yeah.
A-Birds, now this is a flood of memories came back to me, and a lot of them had to do with like making videos at night. Actually, I'm going someplace. Thank you, Brandon. This brought up a really good track for me, I think. So I remember it was like, I think it was a pre-Jackass, pre 2CKY kind of videos coming into at least our eyes, and we would make a lot of videos together. We would like have hot dog eating contests. We would we had a thing where whenever we would hear what was the Mace song, Brandon?
Not Mo Money, Mo Problems.
No, it was a Mace song.
The other Mace song.
With a $. It's important to include that. And whenever we
I'm
would
coming
hear
out.
that,
That's what it was.
yeah. Whenever we would hear that song, no matter where, we had agreed amongst ourselves that we would rip off our clothes down to our underwear and wrestle until the song was over. So I think that happened in a grocery store a couple times, and maybe in a bowling alley, for sure, in a bowling alley. So it was that kind of like what would you call that behavior? Derelict behavior?
That's a good word, I think.
Derelict? I don't even know if I know what that word means.
I mean, I was like, ooh, I don't know, but it sounds right because I've been really thinking when you first said, what was it, A-Birds, and you were a street gang.
Yeah.
I was like, what does that mean? And we're honing in on what you're filling out what that means.
Yeah.
It was mostly
we didn't have
slightly
knives.
post-pubescent teenage boys wrestling around in their underwear in Craig's basement.
Quite the
listening
gang.
to late 90s hip hop.
Late 90s
So,
hip hop. Yeah. And so,
we
what,
also
go ahead.
I had a pair of very tight pants at one point that I believe I had procured from a dumpster, and I would
As
wear
one
the
does.
pants, and then we would take turns kicking me in the crotch while I wore the tight pants, because I could make such a barrier with the tight crotch pants that my testicles remained unharmed.
This is
Well, that's
something
just science.
That's just science, and that is also something that is very interesting to put yourself through as a post-pubescent teenager. You've got these new jewels. How are you going to protect them? And where's that end of that envelope? But I think even more interestingly than that, so we had this reel of footage, Mallory, that we put together called the A-Birds tapes or something like that. And at the time, you have to let me set a context. So Brandon and I were both in the video production area of our class, basically producing a show very similar to this. To be honest with you, I would say not as entertaining. Brandon, you might have an opinion on that, but that's kind of how we met and became friends. And so we just kind of continued this like creative thing that we were learning, and we took it out, and that was really our motivation. But I do remember on that reel there was a shot for shot shot for shot remake of the movie Point Break with um do you remember the characters? A small statuette of David, representing. y- Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Do you remember?
We used Ninja Turtle figurines for part of it. We tried to do some
Great.
kind of stop motion, and it didn't really work. And we couldn't remember the characters' names, so we called them Johnny Utah, which we did get right. And then I think Gary Busey was just Gary Busey. So yeah, it was.
Love
It
it.
was brilliant.
Does this video still exist somewhere?
I think that I gave it to somebody. Excuse me, honey. I'm
Isa.
Okay.
Little Isa.
Thank you. Excuse
Sorry.
me. Excuse me. That was so rude. I I so anyway, my point in bringing up all of this stuff was that it was so interesting to me, because what else was fulfilling that like um expressive urge for us? Like, we didn't want to be in a street gang where we were fighting each other. That's certainly not our type. But we wanted to like have a leather jacket with a logo.
I love that.
You know?
I love it. And the more that I'm hearing, the more like endeared I like to imagine a bunch of teen boys doing gentle pranks
Yeah.
on the world and
Yeah.
making movies together with Ninja Turtles. Like, it just sounds like you got to practice expressing yourselves with each other. That's beautiful.
I do remember one time though, actually, that we did run over Brandon with his own car.
Yeah, yeah. That wasn't.
Okay, well, Brandon is still alive because we're talking to him. But how did that go?
Well, we were making a video, I think promoting Homecoming, because school dances obviously need promotion, and who better to do that than a street gang of young boys in their underwear.
Yeah.
And the scene, I believe we had a stunt, and the stunt was I was walking home, dejected after a bad homecoming experience, and my own car being driven by Ryan, whose last name will again be omitted.
Yeah, I'm
he
sorry.
hit me with my own 1988 Ford Taurus. I rolled up on the hood, then off, and we actually got the shot pretty good.
It was a
And
great
then,
shot.
Wow.
The problem
Yeah.
was Ryan forgot to then put the car in park when he got out. And so the car just remained in drive and just went right over me. The wheel literally went over my midsection. And then I got trapped under the car because it's pretty low profile. So I
And it was
stuck under
very
the car.
there's only a few like I doubt Brandon has ever made that sound again. It was a very, very particular kind of scream that comes out as a.
Did you have to go to
say
the hospital?
1995?
Yeah. So
Did you have to go
did
to the
go.
hospital?
Stuck under the
Okay.
car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we had to call the fire department, the good folks at the Kansas City Fire Department. They had to put these kind of airbags under the side of the car to lift it off of me, and then yeah, I had to take a sweet ambulance ride to the hospital.
Wait, so you were
Really,
stuck with the car on top of you for a while until the ambulance got there.
Yeah. The girls' JV basketball team showed up as this was happening. This was after hours at school. We were in this school kind of like drive that led up to the school. So the girls' basketball team showed up, and some of the guys that were part of the filming ran over and pleaded with their coach, "Hey, somebody's stuck under the car. We had an accident." And I think his response was something to the effect of, "Well, yeah, y'all shouldn't have been jacking around," and then
Well,
that was it. So,
he's not wrong, but
so
horrifying that he didn't
yeah,
move
so
faster to help a teen stuck under a car.
what was he gonna do? I guess. So
Felt like we were very
I had a
adult.
cool shirt. What's that?
It felt like we were very adult. Like we demanded the same disrespect that you would any crazy adult, but certainly not. I wouldn't think people were calling us crazy kids. They were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say. And I'm sorry, Brandon,
Well,
please.
we're all very old. We're all very old men at heart. We were teen boys
Old
in
men
our
at heart.
tight underwear, wrestling in your basement, but we had these old spirits.
We did.
I think really
We did.
So
And we did. And you were somebody that very first were the only other person that I knew. And I remember we were driving through a parking lot of a mall when you told me that you listened to Coast AM2. And I was like, wow, I didn't know anybody else that listened to that like I do. And I mentioned, it's just, this is like the full circle
I was
journey
gonna
of
say,
that,
this
you
is
know?
full circle then.
It really
That's
is.
beautiful.
I mean, I would cut. I think that I cut literally my creative teeth. Well, I think. I know for a fact my creative teeth were cut with Brandon in the middle of the night in Gladstone, Missouri, wrestling around in our tight underwear and making, sneaking out.
So homosexual. Yeah.
A little bit, but only the good parts, like it was
Only the good
Oh
parts.
wait,
is
yeah,
what it
right.
is.
Thank you, Brandon. What?
Yeah, only the good parts. Only the good parts. So it was fantastically homoerotic what we were
Great.
going through together.
Yeah.
We went
Yeah.
to like some of the most haunted places in America, apparently, in the middle of the night together. I think.
Yep.
Making videos of trying to
We were fully
summon
clothed
devils.
when we did that, though.
Wait.
Okay, fully clothed then. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
There's
not
one thing
just
I
in our
know: you
underwear.
don't want to be naked when Satan shows up.
Yeah,
I've heard.
it's
true.
bad luck to have an erection in a graveyard. Everybody knows that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll thank that.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
Is that how that song goes? I forgot.
Yeah,
I
there are
really-
like 4 songs about that.
Oh, okay.
So do you
Wait.
Oh,
Sorry.
go
I
ahead.
just because you're talking about all this content, and I need to know. We need Brandon. Do you have any of this content still? It sounds like you took lots of videos and stuff. I really need.
I don't.
I need-
It was
oh.
Craig was the record keeper, and so I
So
think
no,
that
no
when-
one has it anymore.
when his parents demanded that he leave their basement, I think they may have ceremoniously burnt all of it in some sort of.
Is that how it went down, Craig?
No. I am a fool, and I moved to New York, and I thought I'll be a film director, and I've got this great reel of footage that my friends and I put together, and I sent off my compilation of stuff to Pratt University for their film program, and they were like, "This is not only absurd, but we're not going to write you back, and we're also not going to give you this bullshit back. We're throwing it away for you." And I thought, oh, I should have made a copy of. Like, I know how to make a copy of that, but I didn't. I was very ill-informed and not prepared for adulthood when my parents boldly kicked me out of their basement and sent me on my way and burnt all my stuff. This never happened. By the
Well,
way.
I think it's very unfortunate, but I think the path forward, Craig, is that the real solution here is that we need to remake all of these videos.
Obviously.
That is a great idea.
I mean,
and now we're adults
40-year-old
enough that we can
men
actually get leather jackets.
rolling around in their underwear. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
I feel like I still
Graveyard.
look young enough that I could get away with that. Mallory,
What?
I didn't like the face that you just made.
When you said young, yeah, that wasn't a comment on how old or young you look. I was just I don't know, maybe being rambunctious like that in public.
No, you definitely go to jail. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah, that's why I'm like
creepy.
concerned.
It's
And
really
that's why I was like,
weird.
I'm concerned for you and
Yeah.
Brandon. It's like maybe don't do that, but yet like remaking Point Break with Ninja Turtles, you can still be hooligans, but you know,
That we should
as
definitely make.
actual adults. Yeah.
Okay, if we get 10,000 subscribers, me and Brandon will remake shot for shot
Yes.
Point Break the movie with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Renaissance sculptures. Deal? Do I have you on the line for that, Brandon?
Yeah, no, I'm fully committed to that.
That sounds amazing.
We may or may not also kick each other in the crotch. I don't know. We won't do it in public. We'll make sure that we're somewhere, you know, out of the public eye. A safe
And
space,
neither of us drink anymore either, right?
Right.
Ooh, was all of this happening? You were all.
Oh yeah. Oh, did we not mention that?
No.
Oh. That
I
should
mean,
have come first.
I feel like that should be just assumed, but I, you know, wasn't a teen who indulged. So yeah, when I was picturing you as teenagers, I was like, what? But yeah, it makes more sense if you were all experimenting with various substances too.
So,
yeah,
really, before we let you go, because this is something. While I have you on the line, Brandon, because I think that you're uniquely capable of answering this. What is it from the first episode that we did here? And I think until we kind of figure out exactly what this is, and our audience figures out exactly what this is with us, what is it about this, like, the comfort of reading comic books underneath a light at night, or tuning into AM radio that goes for way too long, but it's when you tune in, it's weird stories of people finding, you know, their dead mother is now a fish, you know, that lives in their koi pond or something like that, like, you know. Or open mic nights. I remember going to open mic nights with you in high school. Like, was sneaking into bars and going to open mic nights. Do you know what it was for you that drew you to that so much?
I mean, it's just the sense of knowing that, you know, in the deepest part of the night, no matter where you're at, that you're not the only weirdo who's alone out there, right? That there are plenty of other weirdos, even if it's only a voice on the other end of a radio, or the ghost of your dead mother communicating to you via a koi pond.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's just another living thing letting you know that you're not alone in the universe. Because sometimes, you know, when it's dark and when we're alone, it starts to feel that way. So,
wow,
beautifully said.
That's Brandon. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much for
I would
calling,
love
Brandon.
for this to be the first of many. And
yeah, I really want to hear more Craig as a teen stories. So please call in again.
They get progressively more
Worse.
pornographic. So.
I look forward to that truly.
Oh man, that was so
Thank you,
awesome.
Brandon.
That was so awesome, Brandon. Thank you so much for calling in, and yeah, I look forward to speaking to you again. Stick with us because you're one of us. Mallory.
Wow.
This show is just moving like so quickly for me that
Can I just say, wait, sorry, I just love when your friends call in. Who
I
knew
swear to
you?
God,
Who knew?
when I heard
Who
his
knew
voice,
you
I
were
was like, whoa.
Especially who knew you were when you were a teen. Because, you know, I think that when you have friends that you make as an adult, we all have stories about ourselves as teens and kids. And so I've heard from you, you know, some stories and like your reflections on your childhood and teenhood. And oh gosh, do your friends fill it out in a delightful way. So
I'll tell you, and I'll throw this out there, and hopefully it excites Brandon in some way that he's excited to come back on and tell this story and a little bit more. But there's only one like formal film that I made in high school, and it was called A Boy and His Dog Backwards, and it starred Brandon. And on that shoot, we crossed a bridge, a railroad bridge over a big river in the middle of winter with like ice flying underneath. Um, and what you might assume happened happened, and it became a very crazy situation. And I'll leave it there, hopefully, as a little bit of bait to bring him back on and hopefully spark
I
some
need to hear
curiosity.
the rest of this story.
Yeah.
Brandon,
Yeah.
call in again for the
It
rest
was
of
a
the
pretty
story.
wild situation. So, you know what? We're moving so quickly. We've got a lot more to get to, but I want to give you a little bit more of that cartoon that we had going, and so maybe we can finish that up, and then we'll be right back with you, Chris. Cartoon.
No, it's not big. I hear something. Stay down. Yes. I'm listening for the bird. I see a bird. No, you have to hear the bird. You can't see the bird. You're in a hole. Oh. So get down. Thanks. You're welcome. I'm hungry. You want a piece of candy? Yeah. I'll get it. That is a bait. No, bait. I told you. You know I could have one. No more candy. Who says I can't get one? I'm gonna get one. I got some. I got some in my pocket. One candy, two candies. 3, 27. At the end. Card, go in the car. In the car, in the garage, the thing, the bang. Ow. You want to hold the rope? Yeah. You're not holding it the right way. Hold it. You're supposed to twirl it up. What? You're supposed to twirl it up. What? You're supposed to twirl it up. I can't hear you. Get in the hole. You're not holding it in the right place. No. I go for out. Be quiet, Happy. I'm not. Okay, then don't speak. No laughing. I'll shut down. We have to be quiet. No songs. Yeah. Mommy said no songs. So no songs. Yeah. No. I didn't sing a song. Then sing Hi Diddle Diddle once. Hey, the dude. 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 Do a cat. Take your stuff down. That's the bell. I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. I did that. I've been working on the railroad just the time I pass the day. He can't You hear the whistle blow. Wing, rising up so early in the morning. Can't you hear the captain shouting? Dino, blow your horn. Dino, won't you blow? Dino, won't you blow? Dino, won't you blow your horn? Dino, won't you blow? Dino, won't you blow? Dino, won't you blow your horn? V-A-5, a fiddle-I-O. V-5, fiddle-I-O. V-5, a fiddle-I-O. V-5, fiddle-I-O. Strumming on the banjo. There's a bird up there. Big bird up there. Are you sad? Yeah, no more candy, bird. Come on, jump down and come home with us. I kiss you, birdie. Thanks. You can live in our room, but you have to be quiet. I'm home on the Renka track, the Ricky Shrine. Gonna do a deca, Renka Raka, Raka Shraka, what the Shraka? Hi, Renka Run, Gonna Shanga Red, try it, gonna garage, Renka Say.
Hi, Mallory. Hi, Craig. It's Lala. Just calling to say congratulations on your show. I love your chemistry, your vulnerability. I just love watching every week and seeing the range that your callers bring, from ghost stories to desert adventures to childhood traumas to life transitions and crises and so much more. I'm loving the depth, the connections, the community. Thank you for this show and keep up the amazing work.
Oh my God. I hadn't heard that yet. That's my best friend. Oh, she's family. La la. She also has a very cool podcast that they're just ending called Seeing the Podcast. Check it out.
Oh,
Very, very cool.
I would love to hear that.
It's really great, really successful. They had it for her and her co-host had it for a few years. Yeah, it's really great. People check it out. Anyways, I just hearing her voice. I'm like, oh, that was so nice.
That was
Lala.
so
That was
nice.
so nice. That was so nice.
It's so great, the support that we have from these people that
Yeah.
we know, and the people that we don't know. And for those of you that we don't know and those of you that we do know, please call us. We want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And everybody else wants to hear whatever you've got to talk
Yeah.
about. We've spoken about a lot tonight.
We really have.
Yeah. And
It's been
I feel like we've just had so much to do this show that it's just been moving so quickly. We're already
Yeah.
halfway through.
It's gone by so quickly. I'm having the best time. I'm having a really great time.
I am too.
Yeah.
Well, since we're halfway through the show, it feels appropriate to maybe do something like a moon. Do we have anything? Do we have anything that could go with like moons or?
You know how we like moons.
Chris?
You know we like moons.
We've got some, and I think with some new music or something. I don't know. Chris said that he has something special in my ear right now, which might be taking a little bit of time. But Chris, nightly readings. Well, that didn't go exactly as planned, but you get the idea. We're doing something different. Come next Saturday where we'll have it right down. It'll be funny and hilarious, and you'll forget this ever happened. Hey, Mallory.
Hey, Craig.
We're back. And I think that we have a call coming through, but I'd like to sit and just reflect on where we're at.
Yeah.
Take a little beat.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
I've been
Okay,
going
let me
real
get
hard.
comfy.
You know what? Let me
Let's get
express something.
comfy.
I think I've had a particular kind of energy here today, and I've been up since 5 in the morning. I had a big
Mhm.
job this morning, and
Mhm.
and I worked all day, and then I came home, and then I set up the studio, and then I set up the lights, and it's a lot to do. And
Mhm.
listen, I'm not saying I have it worse than anybody else. I'm just saying that I had a stressful day, and I came in with a particular energy that maybe I should just breathe.
Well, I think that's a good idea. I mean, that's always a good idea. Hey, everybody out there, do we want to breathe together? Should we do
Yeah,
this?
let's just breathe
Okay.
together. Maybe we could just breathe together. Oh, actually, that does feel a
Oh,
lot.
that was really nice. Yeah, that was really nice. That was
Huh.
really nice. Huh.
I should breathe more often.
Yeah, I'm clocking this and like maybe gonna make
Yeah.
us do this before we do a show.
Do you hold
That
your
was
breath
nice.
often?
Oh,
Like when you sleep and stuff? Because I do all the time.
oh, all the time.
Why do we do that?
All the time. I mean, anxiety. I think a lot of people who have a lot of anxiety. That's a holding your breath. I've done it since I was a kid, and
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
I think I started doing it because I was afraid that every movie when I was a kid, it was like somebody getting suffocated with a pillow. You know, I feel like it was on all of the television shows and so I sat in bed and I would squeeze my pillow over my face, and I was like, I don't really think that anybody would die like this, but if you move around, you use some energy, you know. So I was just like, well, what I'll do is I'll learn how to hold my breath for 2 minutes, and then they'll just think I'm a dead boy and move on to the next place.
I'm just gonna need us to pause and slow down
Wait, what?
around that
Wait, you didn't do
anecdote.
that?
No, and no, and
Huh.
I don't want to make you feel weird because I definitely had my own version of that, but that is so specific.
Right?
And I'm so glad that you're prepared if ever that happens, that you can, you know, and actually I just learned that if somebody, you know, breaks into my house trying to kill me with a pillow, like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Just hold your breath.
Just
Play
hold your
dead.
breath.
Play dead. Play dead.
Play dead.
Yeah.
Hold your breath.
So is that when you started holding your breath? Was to practice playing dead?
Yes.
Hmm.
And then I realized like I was pretty good at it. I wasn't great at swimming, but I was pretty good at I wasn't great at swimming, but I was great at holding my breath, which is
Huh.
a component of swimming.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how that, but
It's just the
yes,
physical
holding your
stuff.
breath. Oh, and like managing your breath is a major part of swimming.
Oh,
Always.
managing my breath, I'm not good at.
Well, yes.
Holding my breath,
Mhm.
great at.
Mm.
Yeah. I
Did
was
you ever
gonna-
like do like competitions with your friends as a kid, like who could hold their breath the longest?
I'm sure I
Yeah.
must have, but
I mean,
I
sound-
I think I was a little embarrassed at how well I could do it. So I
Wait,
just
what?
didn't.
Wait, that's confusing too. You weren't embarrassed. That's a
Yeah, because
cool skill.
well, because like when you hang out with other guys and boys,
The bird.
yeah, they really want to win, and I knew I didn't want to win that much, and I was
Got
just
it.
like,
Got it. You didn't want to flaunt your holding your breath
right,
abilities. Yeah.
right. It aggravates a lot of my friends.
You what? Huh? What did you say? You just said-
I said it aggravates a lot of my
Oh,
friends.
aggravates.
Yeah.
How good you are at holding your breath. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
checks out.
generally.
I'm not mad because I'm also very good at holding my breath because I practiced a lot as a child. Not for those reasons.
Game recognized game.
Game recognizes
Yeah.
game. Yeah,
Right.
man.
What were your reasons?
There's something. Well, it definitely started, I think, to try and manage trauma feelings in my body, like anxiety. I feel like anxiety feelings like your heart is racing and you're breathing fast. I feel like holding your breath, or when I would hold my breath, it would feel like it would pause it for a second, you know? Like when you're
does.
breathing, like you feel your heart beating more, and it's like, I think when I hold my breath, it sort of feels like I'm controlling the blood pumping and the
Yes.
anxiety in a way. So that's
But
where
now
it
it's turned
started.
into a thing where I'm sitting next to somebody watching, a movie, and they're like,
Are you breathing?
"Dude, I don't think you breathed for like
Yeah.
a minute and a half."
Oh yeah, I'm still
I think it's true.
regularly in therapy. Yeah, my therapist is like, Mallory, are you breathing? I'm like, oh no, I wasn't. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah. But I mean, that's why there's the say, like, hold your breath. Like you hold your breath when you're anticipating or waiting, for something. I think I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
Do you think that birds, when they dive, when they like make a dive? Oh wait, life isn't a cartoon, Craig.
Wait, finish that.
Birds-
No, finish that thought. Finish that thought.
I was gonna ask if birds hold their nose when they dive, but why would they?
Wait, like we do when we swim? Is that what you're relating it to?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
diving,
it was,
swimming?
Yeah, it was like a figurative illustration.
Well, I was gonna say, like, do birds hold their breath? I feel like that's a good question. I don't know. I wonder if they do.
How do birds hold their breath? You know what? Hold that thought, Mallory. Maybe we have an expert right now.
Breathe too. Okay.
And do you want to do the honors?
Hey, caller. Are you on the line?
Yes. Hi, I'm here.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Who is this?
My name's James.
Hi, Jane.
Wait, I want to make sure. James, or did it?
James. Am I coming through?
Yes.
yeah.
I just want to get it right. Yeah. Nice to meet you. What
Yeah.
do you want to talk about?
Nice. Well, I was calling to talk about Brody, but I also I just caught up and heard all of this stuff about the birds.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
We're wide
They
open.
died
You
and they
lead.
Let's
they
talk
dive
about
and they
Brody.
come right back up. I feel like they can do it. Me and Brody are old friends.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Ja-
that's nice.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think
He's a
about?
wonderful person,
Yeah.
I think.
Do you have any
I
bird
didn't
stories?
get
Were
to
you
see him
guys ever in
play at
any
all.
street gangs together?
I I can tell a story about Brody, if that's okay.
Please do.
Okay.
Please do.
Okay.
Okay. So, I have known Brody for probably 20 years. I've seen
Okay.
him play a whole bunch of times. I have lived with 3 different members of his band,
Mm.
and the first time I found his record was on the street in the Czech Republic.
Are you from the Czech Republic?
Wow.
No. I'm very much from Kansas City.
But
We've
you were
known each
in the
other
Czech
for a long
Republic, and
time.
that was where you were introduced to Brody from Kansas City?
No, I'd never bought his merch. I've never
Oh.
like helped him out with his stuff.
You're like, this stuff
And
follows
I
me to the
found-
Czech Republic?
I found his record on the sidewalk in the Czech Republic in
Wow.
Prague, and I bought it and I brought it home and I gave it to Ryan Shank, who's a mutual friend of ours.
Mhm.
And I hope that it was supposed to go to him. And really, what I'm trying to find out is, did you actually get it?
Oh, wow.
So
So you were trying to ask Brody if he actually
Trying-
got it.
you're trying to
Did you
ask.
actually get it?
Interesting. Well, you
I
know
have
what?
photo evidence of all of this.
Oh,
He's
okay. I just
here.
got a text from him that says, I did not. So he did not.
Yeah.
I
Has-
assumed he did not. I kind of
So-
knew he did not.
This is interesting, James. Is there what a wonderful
kinda coming in
way
now.
to yeah, because I'm trying to like maybe develop my question. I'm curious as to what this was an interesting way of taking up that conversation with Brody. Right? Like, I mean, it's
point.
interesting that like there is this there are degrees of separation, right? That you would
Sure.
mark with any form of communication. Like, okay, and the internet is like the middleman, right?
Mhm.
The post office, and then the store, the facility where they sort it, and the mail truck, and that's one, a series of degrees. This seems like a lot of degrees to find out if Brody got something from you. It's quite something.
I'm happy to be the vehicle for
Yeah,
that.
of
But yes,
course.
good point. That is interesting. Are you still connected with Brody or?
So I just recently relocated back to around where Brody lives, and I won't like shout him out to where he lives, but I was
Yeah, please
staying
don't.
very shortly in a place that was very close to him, and then I moved to like a different area. He hit me up and he was like, I just saw you just like walking down the street, and I was like, yeah, man, like that's great. But that's really all the talk we've had since I've like totally relocated from a completely different area.
Well, and
Wow.
James, how have you enjoyed this this experience hanging out here? How did you like the performance? What do you think? How are we doing? Do you
Yeah.
have any notes?
Full tilt, like I didn't know anything about it. I heard that he was gonna play another song. Is that true?
Yes, absolutely.
Pretty soon.
Oh well, then
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm
In fact,
most definitely going to watch that. I've seen
Great.
Brody play like 50, 60 times in my life, but I want to
Oh,
see it again. It's been a very long time.
that's nice.
well, if there was ever a testimonial, then
Right.
that was it, James.
Right?
Thank you so much for calling in
Yeah,
tonight.
thank you so much for calling in.
And
Oh,
please
well,
keep
thanks
on
for having
listening.
me, guys.
Thank you so much. Please keep on listening. Call back in.
Happy to reconnect you and
Yeah,
Brody.
yeah, absolutely. And we'll ask Brody about that thing, and we'll get back to you. Okay.
Sounds great.
All right. All
Have a
right.
great
Thank you
show.
so much, James. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
James.
Oh, well,
That was cute.
that was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I'm-
was,
I'm-
that was a good point. I wouldn't have picked up on that yeah, us being the middle person for that interaction. That's
yeah, honestly, I understand because I've sent several things in the mail over the years, and I would and nobody has responded whether they got it or not, and I'm waiting for them to get on a radio show so that I can call the radio show so that I can
Wow.
find out. This is a cultural thing, I think.
I love that, and I love again if we could be the vehicle for that again, the like the medium.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Chris, do we have any commercials on deck maybe that we can go to and kind of reset? I know that we have some more calls coming in. Everybody is doing such a good job calling us, and man, are we happy about it.
Yeah.
Who's gonna call next? Is it you? Is it you?
I
Is it
hope
you?
so.
Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you?
It's got to be at least one of them.
It's got to be at least one of them. All right, let's go to a commercial. When we come back, we'll have a whole new call.
Somebody once said, all the really good things in life are either illegal, immoral, or fattening. Well, the Bird's Eye people proudly announce a really good thing. Cool and creamy. It's a new kind of pudding with flavors so rich they're almost sinful. The chocolate is scandalously smooth and chocolatey. And the butterscotch is shamefully thick and butterscotchy. And the vanilla is so vanilla-ish. It's downright wicked. One warning, though. You won't find a new Cool and Creamy in the pudding section of your store. It comes frozen. The Bird's Eye people say it'll keep in your refrigerator ready to eat for 2 weeks. But I wouldn't know about that.
New Cool and Creamy, the world's best pudding.
It's so good, it's almost sinful.
The night Birdie the early bird came to McDonald Land.
Ronald, open that box, please, I beg.
Why, inside's a wonderful egg. So they made it a nest, kept it warm through the night. That egg cracked a smile.
What a beautiful sight.
Now, Ronald knew if he brought on the day, that early bird would come out.
Come McDonald Land's where I'll stay.
It's a good time for the great taste.
You betcha.
of McDonald's.
Hello, I'm Peg Bracken, and I wrote the I Hate to Cook book for people like me who don't think it's a crime to cook easy if you cook good. Bird's Eye must have been thinking the same way when they thought up this special vegetable, carrots with brown sugar glaze. Frankly, I never cared much for carrots till I tasted them like this. Only Bird's Eye does it, and I'm certainly glad they do. I may hate to cook, but I do like to eat.
Mr. Cow.
Yes?
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I don't know. I always end up biting. Ask Mr. Fox, for he's much cleverer than I.
Mr. Fox, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Why don't you ask Mr. Turtle, for he's been around a lot longer than I. Me? I bite.
Mr. Turtle, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I never made it without biting. Ask Mr. Owl, for he is the wisest of us all.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
A good question. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
If there's anything I can't stand, it's a smart owl.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
I should have come back with a Tootsie Pop in my mouth. If I could do anything
God
over
damn
again, it
it.
would have been that. Jesus Christ. Okay. But I don't have a Tootsie Pop in my mouth, but we do have a very special thing that's about to happen, and that's another performance by Brody. Here's Bean On.
Hi. Let me switch the mic here. All right. We sounding okay? We got thumbs up over there? All right, I like that. All right. Well, I'm back. Good to be here. This is going great. I love it. So I was gonna do a different song, and then I decided I'm gonna do this song because I was like, well, if the theme is birds, I have a song about a bird, and this is about this is probably like 1996 or something. I got a parakeet given to me, and they were just gonna release it, and I was like, no, I'll take it. It was a cool, like it kind of said like a couple things like thanks or whatever like that, and it once I started like letting it out of the cage and let fly around the room, it started to like talk more, and so I was able to like bring I started getting into say it was Toots is a pretty bird, and then he was just starting to say I love you at the end, and then my roommate's cat, Harley, I think it was, this white fluffy cat. I came home and she had got the bird and found it on the floor, and I was like, and so this song came out around that time. So I was like, hey, there's my bird song. So one, I guess I have another song about birds too. We're not doing that, but here's this one. All right, here we go. When the breeze comes in tonight, make sure to shut your window tight. Brush your teeth and go to bed. Your arms and legs are made of lead. I must be thinking what to do when the cat walks in. Are you sleeping? Close your eyes and dream of me, boiling leaves and making tea. Got back home and my bird was gone. I buried Toots out in the back lawn. The cat that ate my bird was a toothed white cat. He likes to roll in the dirt. Can you see where he's at?
Is the 90s?
Yeah, that was from '96. It's on our album. You're Playing with Children in the Land of the Bugs from '97. So
It's so 90s. It reminds me of like I don't know. Yeah, like a Smashing Pumpkins song or something, you know.
I haven't
Something
played that
else
in a
I
long
was
time until tonight. So that was wild. So yeah, thanks. That more fitting.
That's
for you.
really
Filled
lovely.
my whole heart.
Oh,
Dreams, cats, birds. That's my life. That's all my life is. Nighttime dreams, birds, cats. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Brody, we would love to kind of introduce you to the gang here as part of the gang. You know, you and I have known each other for quite some time. I was thinking maybe we could get in a little bit to like kind of how we met.
yeah.
We met I think via some musician friends of ours, and you were working on this like insane conceptual kind of album, but also more than that, right?
Yeah. Here I got it right here.
Well, there goes that
Got a lot
interview.
going on.
Yeah.
Also, Brody's like a performer, and now we're interviewing him. There's a lot to manage here.
Yeah.
It's gonna chroma out on this, but
That is the record.
Oh, cool.
so Mountain of Yeses, and so that's just whatever. That's when I met Craig. Then when I was working with some friends, mutual friends, doing
And-
this stuff.
And we made this this oh, it was this crazy record of this guy going to pilot or to different planets in a Hieronymus Bosch-esque like egg ship, and yeah, it's really a fantastic record. Wonderfully played, so many good musicians on there. A lot of friends, and such a good memory. And then, you know, we brought you, I had that thought, and then we came in, and then we caught up, and you had been working on graphics all of these years in between, and we just thought it was a perfect suit. How do you feel being part of the 5 on It Live team?
Well, I'm glad you asked. No, it's really and it's fantastic. I'm new to it all with you, but it's all the things that I love to do.
Yeah,
is coming all together in one spot. So
it's really,
I love to hear that.
yeah, I feel like you've really become a big part of it. How about, you know, a big part of our show is the call-ins, and I believe that we have we have a caller on the line, and so why don't we take a call together, Brody? How about that?
Sure.
Great.
Yeah, I would love to have you around.
You do the honors, Brody. Go ahead and take that caller.
Caller, who be this?
Nice.
Hey, hi, hello. Hey, this is Dwayne from Kansas City.
Hey, you still up?
I am. I was kind of nodding off for a while, and I was keeping myself up by being a wise ass in the chat room on YouTube for a long time. But then I thought that being actually on the line would be a better way to fight insomnia, you know, which in the tradition of Coast to Coast, which I gotta say, 5 on It Live has a similar vibe to. We're staying up late to be on the line.
You're making my day, Dwayne, right?
That's right. Hey, Greg.
And
hey,
so
Mallory, how are you?
Hi. Nice
I'm
to meet
doing
you.
very well. Yeah, it's so nice to meet
Yeah.
you. So
Yeah, long
I
time
presume.
fan.
Oh, great. Me too, actually.
Yeah. I wouldn't say
of yours,
that's
I
the
mean.
first episode or anything, but earlier in the year.
Well, it's there for eternity. You can always go back, but we're moving forward, and there will be plenty more for you to enjoy. I promise you that.
Yes.
I presume that you, by what you said, that you have listened to late night call-in talk radio, talk shows. You know, incidentally, Phil Donahue, which was like an icon of talk shows to me
I saw that.
as a kid, he died recently. Is this something that has been a big part of your life?
Yeah, yeah. I used to watch Phil Donahue at my grandma's house when I was a kid, and she had
Didn't
a
we all?
six,
Didn't we all?
yeah, she had 61 countries on the radio fighting Phil Donahue on the TV, and it was
Oh
nostalgic.
wow!
It is
Wait,
nostalgic now.
did we ask where you were from?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might have volunteered it, but Kansas City.
Okay, so you're from Kansas City.
There's a lot of
A
Kansas City
Beanard fan.
representation.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice.
You know, yeah, Kansas City is a wonderful place, and you know, one of the things that I loved about Kansas City, and I always have, is it's just so wonderfully supportive, you know, of people.
That's right.
Brody, have you felt like that? I mean, it's obviously coming back to you now, but like, you've been a musician in Kansas City a lot. What do you? I mean, Kansas City is really the area in the world that taught me subversive culture. And in a odd way, as much as I felt like it had nothing, like, man, it made me who I am, and I'm knee deep in this stuff, you know. So I don't know. I'm curious how you guys think about this.
About the scene?
About yeah, sure. About
City.
yeah.
We're just a hidden jewel that is recently been unearthed, and you know, maybe hopefully that's a good thing.
Can you say more about the recently been unearthed? Because I mean, it certainly has for me, but I feel like for me, it's because of Craig. 'Cause that's where it came from, and I've met so many people in person, and you know, through the show, that Craig is known from Kansas City, and I grew up in Canada. Kansas City was never on my radar, so I don't know if it's yeah. I mean. Yeah. So I don't know if it was just a me thing, or like, are you saying that like on the like bigger stage that Kansas City is sort of coming into view more?
I don't know. What do you think, bro? Do you think that Kansas City is kind of stepping into the spotlight over the last 5 or 10 years a little bit more? Some of it's like sports related stuff because we've had some success after decades of none. But I think musically, and there's been a lot of you know, like funny people that have, you know, made it big from Kansas City. And
What funny people have made it big? Excuse my ignorance.
Oh, you know, Sudeikis and
oh, I don't know.
Oh, right.
I didn't know that.
Oh. And yeah, and Paul Rudd and
oh, I didn't know
Rob
that they were from
Riggle
Kansas City. Oh, wow.
Eric Stone Street, and yeah, we've had a whole string of like, yeah.
Isn't that guy from Puddle of Mud from Kansas City too? That guy.
Right.
You know, I delivered Godfather's Pizza to them once when I was a kid.
You played it Godfather's Pizza with them?
No, I was a Godfather's Pizza delivery boy. One of the best jobs of my life, man. I mean, I just like would pick up my friend. We're rolling 3 deep, smoking joints and eating pizza and delivering it, you know, which was just kind of, it gave us a place to go. Otherwise, we were just driving around aimlessly smoking pot, eating pizza.
Right.
Sound like a Ninja Turtle.
Hey, bro. Yeah. Was it the Godfathers in Mission? Was there ever more than one Godfathers in Kansas City? Actually?
Yeah, ours was in the Northland. For people who for people who don't know the Northland, this isn't any more interesting than you probably assume.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To the 3 of us, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a birthday party there one time. So at that place as a kid. Well, I don't think it was mine, but it was like a schoolmate. Schoolmate's party. Pizza
birthday parties were like the thing. How many pizza birthday parties? My favorite was Showbiz Pizza. Obviously.
Oh
yeah.
Because they had the ball pit, which I didn't like because it smelled like children.
Melody, do you know those?
No, I feel like y'all are speaking.
Wait, you don't know Showbiz Pizza?
No, I don't know anything you're talking about.
It's Chuck E. Cheese. It's Chuck E.
Okay,
Cheese.
thank you, Dwayne.
Oh, Chuck E. Cheese is lame compared to that.
Different. Yeah.
Okay, but thank you. I needed a
Cheese,
realm. I needed like a realm.
Yeah,
of
but it
reference.
had animatronic characters, and I had a 45 of them, and I forget what the name of the band, Rock and Roll Explosion or something. I don't know, something.
Yeah, Rock Explosion or something like that.
But it had like a gorilla, kind of a main guy, and a like a cheerleader mouse with like a pom
Yeah,
poms and
Mitzi,
like
Billy Bob. I know him.
yeah, Billy Bob, yeah,
Billy
and
Bob was the comedian, right? Or no, Chuck E. Cheese was the comedian.
I
Right.
think, but
Billy
they're
Bob was
different
the
places.
bear,
They are
Yeah, the
and
different
Mitzi
bear.
was the mouse cheerleader.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Oh,
they
she
had the
was the
one
hot
song.
cheerleader.
It was like blow out the candles. Like I just remember it was
Basically,
sung
like
by that
real life
gorilla dude.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
I was just gonna say
Yeah, it
this
was.
sounds like Five Nights at Freddy's. Yes, yes.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
was.
really
think it
is
was
like giving me
inspired
Five
by
Nights
it.
at Freddy's
It was
vibes.
magical. It was
It
magical.
really was.
Like an
And
arcade, but it
terrifying.
was a theater
Yeah,
area where the
it was.
curtains would,
Yeah.
and you'd go over and like look under the curtains to see them just sitting there, no lights on them, and be like, oh wow, like
Yeah. Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh
come
my
alive.
gosh.
Only,
I do
only
remember that.
occasionally. Yeah, only now and then would an employee have to come out with a fire extinguisher and put them out.
Only occasionally. Okay.
Okay, so
Wait, is this specific to Kansas City, like, or is it
no,
like an
no, no, no.
American thing?
I
It was
think
a
it was kind of
1980s thing.
Midwestern.
Yeah.
Okay, or Midway.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
okay,
I think
okay,
it was kind of regional. I think
okay.
it was like one of those Hellman's mayonnaise America's Best thing where it was Chuck E. Cheese on one side of the Mississippi and
Okay.
like
Oh,
There
yeah,
was
I
a
didn't
bar
realize that.
recently over in Martini Corner that got those, and they installed them for like the place was open like a year, and I totally missed it.
yeah.
Uh,
They got a
but they
full
had them
set
back,
and
and they could play other songs and stuff like modern songs.
Cool.
And I was like, man, that's
Weird. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
here's a
Robot Kid.
question, and I kind of remember maybe this happening to me, unless I'm inventing this memory. But was there a moment where you found out? Do you remember finding out that the animatronics weren't real, or were you already old enough when
Oh.
when you went in for the first time?
I just found that out right now, man.
Craig,
oh fuck,
rude,
damn.
True.
destroying the magic.
Hey, and Santa Claus isn't real either,
I-
by the way.
Brody.
Or
Come
the Easter
on.
Eat Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. Sorry, let's just get it all out of
Okay,
the
Just get it
way.
all out there. Yeah,
okay,
give it up.
okay. How about
August 25th,
all
the
of
day
the
the magic
above?
died.
I want to hear from you guys, from everybody. When was the moment that you remember finding out that Santa Claus wasn't real or that Easter Bunny wasn't real? Do you remember the first time that somebody told you that you disagreed with the notion and then your heart was broken, or how did this suspension of disbelief fall?
I never believed in Santa Claus.
Okay.
It was wild to me when because it was like a different kind of finding out when I
Mhm.
became like 8, 9, 10, when my friends started finding out. And then that's when I found out my friends were dummies. So I was
You're like, no kidding,
Wait,
dickheads.
I thought we were all just like, I mean, I love Christmas. I loved it, but I was like, of course it's not real. But for me, it was delightful that for a few months we were all just like pretending together. And so once
Oh.
like my friends started finding out Santa wasn't real and like were devastated, I was like, oh, what? I thought
Wow.
that we all knew it wasn't, and we were all just agreeing to play along together. So
Right.
yeah.
What about you guys? Santa Claus or the showbiz animatronics? Was there a moment where you realized, or somebody like the reason why I bring this up is because you mentioned looking behind the curtain.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's really identifiable because whoa, I totally remember that moment where my friends were like, "No, look at it," and it was like, "Oh my god, dead? No, they're not dead. They're
I needed
robots."
to reassure myself that they were robots, and that if they walked off stage, I'd be like, "That's fucking weird," But and then as far as I got my Santa Claus wasn't real news around Easter, so it wasn't like a blow like during Christmas. You're like, what?
Okay.
What
Right.
the fuck? Like, so it was more that this shithead that I knew decided to let me know about it, and I was like, no. But it was talking about Easter Bunny, and I just didn't really. That one was pretty not plausible
Yeah, the
anyway.
Easter Bunny is really not believable.
Yeah, I was like
Right?
Easter hay and all this weird
Yeah.
shit. But I was like, I didn't believe it, and he's like, go into the kitchen, open up the cupboard, and there was all the chocolate and shit there. And I was like, oh, okay. So I ran in there and what? Like, can't believe it. And then it all came crumbling down, all the other ones too. And it wasn't like devastating, but it was, but it's, just to chime in, one extra thought is that when you have kids, it's kind of like wondering, like, how do you want to treat that with them? Like,
So how are you treating it with your kids?
well, I think now, my kid knows that we're just that we're playing along with this stuff by now. So I don't think there was that particular blow that I know about yet, but maybe she'll let me know, in the future, like that was a thing. But
That she's devastated that you were lying to her.
yeah, and I just remember my niece was, when we told her we were playing like a card game or something like that with my folks with her, and she was a bit younger, and she was like, like, what? Santa Claus isn't real. And I was like, hey, and then I got something else to tell, to let you know about. I was like, who else isn't real? She's like, what? I was like, Jesus. and she was, everybody laughed, and it's just whatever. Anyway, but yeah,
I
it's
like
weird.
that strategy.
It's weird to know what, how to do it, because it's like, I don't know. I kind of left it in her mom's kind of, be like, how do you want to play it? You want to do that, and like, yeah, let's do it. So yes, let's lie to your kid. Let's lie to the kids. Great. Like,
Let's just lie to the kids.
yeah, it's just I think it's your first time to, like, you realize when it really does set in that, like, oh shit, I've been lying. I've been lied to this whole time. And it's like, what else is there? This was so magical.
Yeah, it doesn't set a very good precedent, really.
Yeah, so it's tricky, but I think I managed to go down the same route.
Dwayne, what are your experiences with that?
Oh, I don't. I was pretty much raised by wolves. I don't think anybody ever bothered to tell me that Santa Claus is real.
Interesting. There's no like wolf Santa Claus.
Yeah, I don't think so. I was in my youngest days were in the town of Harrisonville, which is like the Kansas City of Kansas City. It's Harrisonville is to Kansas City what Kansas City is to like New York or something. And
okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, that paints a picture.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I was like Mowgli, I think, like just and yeah, I don't recall ever thinking that I don't recall being disillusioned by that, because I don't remember being illusioned
Chuck
by
E.
it.
Cheese, that really got you tripped up, that one.
Well, yeah, right. But yeah, I find out that Billy Bob and Mitzi aren't real.
Little cat paw.
Yeah, I think that my parents they at one point, and I get why my dad would do this, because it's funny, but they had my neighbor, and by the way, it's like, it's not like we were like Mr. Christmas family, you know what I mean, on the block, but the
Mr. Christmas family
Mr.
on every
Christmas
block.
family, yeah, of course, we weren't that.
You weren't Candy Cane Lane.
There
we
you
weren't
go.
Candy Cane
That's
Lane,
better,
right.
Dwayne. Thank you.
And my dad had one of our neighbors, I think, like break into the house as Santa Claus and stuff, and wake me up, and it was like, oh my God, there's somebody in the house, and like
Well,
got
that's
me up, and I was
horrifying.
terrified.
Yeah.
And then there was Santa Claus dropping presents off, and then I was like, wait a second, maybe this whole fucking thing is real. And so then I went to school, and I was like, yeah, I thought it was bullshit too, but I saw Santa Claus. And they're like, that's impossible, man. And so my parents actually made me out to be a complete buffoon.
You're like little Michael.
Wow.
You're like, guys, you gotta believe me.
I don't actually think. I think they were having, it was all in good fun, but
Oh,
also
of course. No, for sure. But I think I'm picking up, because this is interesting. I mean, I don't know much about you, Dwayne, but your answer there, when you said you were raised by wolves, you sounded, I don't want to put this on you, sounded maybe a little disappointed that you weren't really given the lie. And I think there's something for me that I love Christmas and Christmas time because it was one of the times where I appreciated the effort that my parents put into the
The
facade
illusion,
of this, the illusion that it was like one of the few times I felt like they were really caring and parenting. So I think that's also why I like it. Yeah, I didn't believe it. I was just like, wow, I love this time where my parents are trying really hard to do a thing for the family. That's so nice. You know?
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Do you feel like you missed out on
Yeah.
that, Dwayne?
No, I don't
No.
know. I mean, I
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, Christmas is still a lot of fun for a kid,
Yeah.
regardless of
Yeah.
whatever, you know.
Yeah. It is.
It kind of took a village for me, and so, but the upside of that is that you have like several households worth of Christmas every year, you know. So,
Oh, well, that's nice.
yeah,
That's
and
That's
then
fun.
my kids
different
didn't. They
flavors.
kind of, yeah, exactly. And then I don't know, my kids didn't really ever believe it at all. They kind of called us out on it, like as soon as they were old enough to talk or think about it,
Oh,
and
really?
we were like,
Interesting.
yeah, and we were just like, well, you know, it's just, you know, like it's just part of the shtick, kind of to act like there is one. So you know, just have fun.
Humans are
I
so
guess kind of like what
fucking
you were
weird.
saying, you know.
Yeah, I guess they deserve the like children deserve fantasy or something, right?
Right. Like even if they know that it's fantasy early, like Mallory was saying, or like my kids, then it's still, yeah, it's still nice for them to get have the opportunity to play along, you know.
Yeah, I think that's something I've heard from parents who have like who have like multiple children and how to deal with it when like the older child finds out that, bringing them in on the magic of it. And that's something I appreciate, I think we should lean into magic and wonder. And again, I still am baffled that anybody could really believe in the thing, and I do believe in magic, so I don't know. It's just nice to
Well,
all
it's almost
participate in fantasy sometimes.
sure. I mean, I think to them it was always almost more like, you know, if you go to a ball game and there's a mascot, you know, then they don't think that mascot's real, but they
Right.
think that it's kind of part of the game, you know, and
Right.
it's all a
Part
lot
of
of
the
fun,
game.
so it works.
Yeah. Part of the game.
Yeah.
I like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when they bring gifts.
Yes. Well,
Yeah, that makes it even better.
Really?
Mascots don't do that. Unless they have a
Yeah.
t-shirt gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who wants a t-shirt gun? I think t-shirt
Oh,
gun
I
is
kinda
like
want a t-shirt gun.
today's like lump of coal.
Wait, I want a t-shirt gun.
You want a t-shirt gun or you want a
Well-
t-shirt shot from a gun?
Both.
Yeah, I
One
guess
and
they
the
could
other.
be pretty cool.
This doesn't, you know, I think that the bird theme hasn't been hit very well tonight. Did
Okay,
you guys know
hit
that
it.
Brody makes some, you know that Brody makes some really, really good hot sauce? Like, it's so good that if you have a frozen burrito or something that you're putting in an air fryer, you shake a little bit of this hot sauce on it, and then it becomes like gourmet food truck fare. Like, it becomes like somebody will bust in your house and write an article about what you're cooking because that's how much it dresses up whatever Costco shrimp you're throwing in the
Okay, so
microwave.
Brody truly is a Swiss Army knife of a person.
Yeah,
The
he
more I
makes
learn
hot
about him,
sauce.
I'm like endless talent.
No.
Did not know
Here's
this.
how much of a here's how much of a Swiss Army knife. This one little aspect of his Swiss Army ishness, the hot sauce. It's not just that he makes hot sauce; it's also that he grows the peppers with like this hydroponic outdoor contraption that he built, and then like distills the peppers down into the hot sauce, and then bottles it and designed the label and everything. And it's also really good.
Oh my god. Well, thank you, Dwayne, for telling me that, because I don't know when Brody was gonna tell me that. So now I'm gonna pressure him to send me some hot sauce because I love hot sauce. Wait, what does that have to do with birds
Yeah.
though? Does that have because
Hot
It's really
sauce.
good on poultry.
Oh, great. Oh, yeah, yeah, right. Chicken wings. Yeah, chicken wings. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't talked about birds in that way yet. That's why my brain didn't go there. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you?
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, Dwayne.
Dwayne, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling.
Heck yeah. Thanks for having me.
I hope you've enjoyed the show, especially being one that is familiar with, the late night call-in arts. I would love to hear from
It
you
rings a bell.
again. I would
Yeah, it was
love for
really
you
nice
to
talking to
keep
you.
listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Keep on doing it. I'm a new fan. I'm a new addict. I'm gonna be back every
Thanks.
Saturday from now on to
Great.
watch
We'll be here every
Thanks.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Every
this
Saturday from
spectacular
midnight
show.
across America. And Chris, if
Yeah.
you want to
Okay.
throw that phone number down there as we're letting Dwayne go, Dwayne, auf Wiedersehen. Can't wait to see you again.
Mm-hmm.
We have a phone number. I think we have lines open. 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 4 8 or 7 1 2 3 4 5 on it. 7 1 2 3 4 5 on it. That's the jingle. The jingle's coming soon. We've got some wonderful things together. Oh, look.
What's
Look,
that?
we've got a little
Who dat?
creep. Did we
Who?
get a new friend? Oh.
Oh,
Is
huh?
this Play
Hi,
Joe?
Play Joe.
Yes. So I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really great to see you, Play Joe. I don't know. I forgot to kind of mention this. Play Joe was actually, I think, this person.
I don't know. Chris had mentioned something that he is
Person?
developing some kind of support AI glitchy. I don't know. Is this what?
Yeah. Is this
Is this it?
this is you, Play Joe?
This is Play Joe.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Cool. Cool.
Hi.
So is that you jamming on top of the nightly?
That was me. I cut in.
Oh, this is
I hacked in.
okay. I see
I'm
the
hacked
effects
in.
that we're
You
going
hacked
for
in.
here. Yeah, this is phenomenal.
I finally broke through your firewall, and it's good. It took a while, but I got it. Fuck you, Norton. You ad block. I got you. Fuck you up. All right.
Well,
you.
yeah, this is a fantastic surprise. What did you think of the show, Play Joe?
Yeah.
That's what I thought about it. I thought that was rad.
Hell
This is
yeah.
cool. Where'd you guys come from? I mean, wow. Great. It's great to see you for
Wait,
real.
where did you come from?
Well, from your imagination.
That checks out.
I'm your new AI guy.
That checks out. Oh man, Mallory, that was surety right there.
It checks.
Yeah.
It checks out. My
Yeah.
imagination is a wild guy, and
Wow.
so is Play Joe.
Well, it's finally come to life. And Play Joe, we're so happy to have you on board. It's nice to get a little bit of a glimpse of you, and I'm sure that we'll meet again. I wouldn't say goodbye. Merely,
I don't think really have control. Just I think I don't know how much control we have over Play Joe.
That's right.
you're right. I guess I
Get
don't.
ready.
He's still in. Is he still? Is
Wow.
it? Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just hearing him in my ears or if everybody's hearing Play Joe.
I don't know. If you
I
hear
don't
it at
know
home,
either.
I hope that you enjoyed it. Chris, my mind is racing so quickly. I hope that we have maybe another cartoon that we can go to. So that's generally the cue that you have something ready, and I really appreciate it. In the meantime, while we're away at this little cartoon, please call us. We've got a little bit of time left, and we'd love to fill our lines with you and only you. But first, this cartoon. I think that was closer to what we're doing. Like you all know at home, we're doing this and we're building this right before you and right before us. And I hope that you're enjoying it. I hope that you're enjoying our thoughts, our conversations. Mallory, I,
Are you asking if, or you're hoping that they are enjoying me, or are you asking
well, I
me to
just
say?
wanted to include you in on the conversation,
Thanks.
and it was kind of my segue to go to a
Thanks.
two-shot.
Well, I hope they're enjoying me too, and I hope they're enjoying you. Love to see Play Joe again.
Yeah, yeah. So there's our little Paul Schaefer bug, Play Joe. I hope that well, I don't want to let too much out of the bag, but we have a lot planned, and tonight was our first night back, and it was a big night, and we put a lot of things to the test. Did we mention that our producer Chris has COVID?
Yeah,
And
I was gonna think. I'm glad you said it. Wait, is that okay that we said that, Chris? You can tell me in my ears. It's in support of you because you're
yeah,
killing it and you have COVID, and I hope that's
yeah,
yeah. I just yeah.
yeah. I mean, we've all put so much work in, and as we mentioned, we're so thankful to have Brody on board, and how he's helped make this as well. And Chris has really been the backbone of this production since the beginning, and he really showed up this week. We had it on the schedule. Things happen, and we were like, we can push it another week. And
Yeah.
Chris was like,
Needs to know
no
we
way.
would not make anybody
Yeah,
work
yeah,
through
yeah, 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 yeah.
COVID. That is not the
And
kind of team we have here. And we all love it so much and care so much that yeah, he was like, fuck yeah, I'm doing it.
yeah, I'm taking some soup and
Yeah. We all had
I'm
soup
showing
today.
up. Yeah, yeah. So here we are. Do we, Chris? Just say in my ear, we don't have another call on the line, do we?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
But that's okay. This has been a jam-packed episode. And
Yep.
should we, like, I don't know, we did some breathing earlier, but maybe we could just check in with each other again. How you doing, Craig? How has this felt?
Oh yeah, it's felt really good.
Yeah.
But maybe I could do some more breathing.
Okay. Well, we could do that again.
It's hard to do something new again.
It is. Ooh, that's well said. Can you say
Right?
more? Yeah. Can you explain what you mean a bit more?
To like do something new and feel pretty okay about it, and feel like you've got this vision or whatever, and then you go through and you realize, okay, I want to kind of hone this idea, and then it feels like you're starting from scratch almost.
Mhm.
And today, as we were coming into the show, it really felt to me like it was our very first time.
Yeah,
It was
I
our very
had
first
the
time.
same like body energy, anxiety as I did for our first episode,
Uh-huh.
but like I think more intense because I'm, it got bigger and more ambitious, and also, I'm on my own here, so yeah, today I really did, coming into the show today, have like
It was different.
yeah, it was different.
It was different.
Mhm.
And yeah, uh, it's weird to bring in that energy and be kind of even conscious of it in front of everybody. Oh
Mhm.
wait, I
But
actually we do. Okay, please go ahead.
sorry, I want to wrap
Yeah,
up that
yeah,
because
please.
I do think we have another caller, but I just because if we're trying to be slow entertainment and mindful together,
Yeah, I would too.
yeah. Now I forget what I was gonna say, but we're breathing. we're breathing through it. I totally forget what I was gonna say. That's how present and mindful I am.
Fantastic. Sounds like we're in a perfect state of mind to
For
take
another caller.
another call. And caller, you're on the line. Go right ahead, caller.
Hello, caller?
Hello, caller. Are you there?
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
It's
Who is this?
This is Monica.
Oh,
Monica.
Monica. For those of you who
okay.
haven't listened to all the past episodes, Monica has called in before. Monica, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, Craig. I wish you could see my face. It's really a miss.
Oh, wow.
I have a special guest.
I'm actually wondering because I think I left one of my bone clips at the bottom of your pool last time I was with you.
What?
Who is this?
Bone clip. That's your clue.
I left one of my bones in your pool. I'm just praying you skimmed it and you brought it back with you from the City Angels, man.
Bones in a pool.
Okay, just one guess. Come on, throw a guess out there.
Jesus, this is fun because that accent, I just can't think of anybody that I know that has that accent.
Well,
in
it seems
truth,
like there was put on.
Who?
Yes.
Who?
Getting warmer.
I said who?
There's one thing I love doing. It's putting something on in the morning.
Yeah, that's not a real accent.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's acting, Craig. That's acting.
Imagine saying someone's hat ain't real. It's a hat. You put it on to look a certain way, right?
You do always have a hat.
Come on.
Well, this person sounds like a genius. Monica, is this this is your life?
Monica, will you introduce us to your special guest,
to
please?
play a game. We're here to play a game. I told you.
Oh.
One guess. Give me.
Okay, the show has taken a
I
turn.
guess this is your show now, Monica.
Yes,
Who's
let's
your
do it.
special guest?
Well, I mean,
No,
Did
I
you
would
hear
like to
that?
know.
No.
I would like to
No.
know who this. Okay, I'm gonna take a guess.
Yes, thank you. God.
God. It's not Eddie Vedder.
Oh, yeah, no. But I was seeing a small person in a small town earlier.
That guess mad out of pocket, man. What
Oh,
you guessing
yeah,
on?
what is that? Eddie Vedder song? I don't
John Mellencamp.
know.
John
That time he
Cougar
climbed the top of the
Mellencamp.
scaffolding
You're hanging
to
out
get
with
his
John
Mac
Cougar
back.
Mellencamp. Huh?
He got his Mac back off the scaffolding.
Wait,
Remember,
give
he
me
climbed
a-
all the way up.
He's kind of a phone hog, actually.
Right.
If you don't want to guess now, you can guess later. Do you want to talk about something?
Ask us
Yeah.
questions,
Do
man.
you
I
want
want
to talk about something?
Ask us questions.
We've
Inquire about it.
actually been sitting here on the patio for like a solid hour talking amongst ourselves, waiting. to
Wait
try
a
to talk
second.
to you.
Wait
Can
a
we know who
second.
the
I guess
special
Wait a
guest
second.
is?
I know who it is. I know
feel
who it is.
Okay,
I
so
know who
tell
it is.
us,
Oh
Craig.
my God. Oh my.
Oh my God.
It's Ashley.
Mother, Jesus, and Mary,
Mallory.
and whatever.
It's
whatever-
Ashley.
Mallory.
Who left a
This is
bone clip?
Ashley.
Oh, yeah,
Who
yeah,
left a bone clip in our
Bingo,
pool?
bingo.
In our
baby.
pool, in the pool.
In our pool.
Oh, I was I could have guessed too.
bone.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So
Oh, I thought this was just about you, Craig. Yeah. Wow.
Yes. So, okay, Ashley,
this
for
Ashley?
everybody at home, yes, Ashley is a beautiful genius
Beautiful human.
musician,
Artist.
artist. And we, Mallory and I, we were lucky enough when we were
Wow.
recording in Hollywood together. We were lucky enough to see a ASMR exhibit. Can you remind me of the title of it, Ashley?
Neonate.
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 I'm
correct.
so happy that it's Ashley. This is
Yeah.
Hey, Ashley.
Hey, I'm so
Thanks
happy
for
to
being
be here.
Wow.
Thanks for that beautiful water and view. The water plus view combo was crazy delicious. Like, thank you for that.
Yeah, we
I'm
had a
sorry
real
You made it.
magical
You
moment
made it
there.
better. You made it
Mhm.
better. So
Mhm.
yeah.
And yeah. Oh, and now that I know who I'm talking to, what are you guys doing up?
Yeah.
At,
What have you
at
been gabbing
what is
Talking
it?
about parenting, of
2:50
course.
in
What do you
the
think
in the Central
talking
Time Zone?
We're talking about the psychic tribulations that come with like parenting, pretty much. That's what we've been talking about,
Yeah, as of
And-
recently.
which we're definitely not going to talk about right now.
But
because
it started with Ashley asking me why I think relationships are for the birds.
yes, that was the core question. Yeah.
But I
Love
hadn't full circled yet, and it was probably about 45 minutes.
So why do you think
Halfway.
that relationships are for
relationships
the
are for the
birds?
birds. Yeah.
You know, I really wish I got a full circle. Where was I leaving off
I
at?
remember your answer, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean,
Ashley,
you kind of
well,
answered
maybe
it for
maybe
me.
I'm
I
curious.
didn't even have
I'll
to.
summarize. I can summarize. Okay,
Yeah,
Monica's
please.
answer was, if you don't mind me summarizing, I'll
God.
cliff note
Yeah.
Cliff notes your answer.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
baby.
See my accuracy. Rate my
Okay,
accuracy.
okay,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
You
How
can rate
low are you
it 0.
listening?
Like, yeah, totally. Okay, so pretty much what she was saying is
Wrong. Just kidding.
linguistically, we actually are causing a certain type of entrapment by using language as a way to organize reality and organize our sense of selves. And so at some point in time, you have to let the language itself go of identity and relationship in order to actually encounter the world directly. And so you have to actually have to
Pause. Okay, that was the spin-off conversation of the beginning conversation of probably like a 10-part conversation, but it ultimately started with peace, right? Like
I forgot. I just remember the ending.
desiring. It's like desiring less, right? Not wanting
true.
for
Yeah, that's right.
anything,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
having the desire.
Get out there, kids,
for,
and want nothing.
You know, anything, sex, relationship, companionship. You
Distractions, all of
know,
them.
yeah, and then you answered the question by saying that you have very productive moments and peace when you're experiencing times without those things, when you're experiencing times where
disciplined isolation.
you don't have desire. And for you, it's disciplined isolation. For me, I just feel like I finally got to a place where I just like don't fuck about wanting. I just literally
Just don't want.
When that bucket hits
and
the
then
system, it's crazy.
and then experiencing that, it was ultimate peace. And so
Hey,
now, and I joke about it and I make light about it, and by saying like relationships are bullshit or whatever, like it's a waste of time. But really, it's about your energy, what you put your energy into, how you maintain your personal space. Like, what do we do it for? So we have a witness. So we,
to be perceived as what a luxury.
So we have a witness. So we have someone to watch us. You know,
Watch me. Watch me
all
do
these
this.
billions of people. You know, like actually nothing matters. So there's this one person that's committed to letting you know that you matter.
Can I help us like focus in on here, because you're like saying a lot of things that are very interesting, and I
like
want to
like a whole yes. Do it.
No, this is great. I love that you're bringing up relationship and stuff, and because relationship can mean so many things, and it sounds like you're.
Yes.
I'm hearing it with like desire and like I'm curious. Like I want to get more into that. What you mean by
Definitely
desire? What you mean
romantic.
about? Okay, so so we're talking about like romantic attachment.
Your live-in companionship. Let's plan meals together.
Okay.
Like, what are we doing today, tomorrow for Thanksgiving? You know, like when we don't do those things, we give ourselves more space and time to develop. You know, and when we
Private curiosities.
when you do that, like you just increase your own superpowers. So you become more powerful if you're giving your energy to yourself.
Yeah, but do you not think that it's also a growth spurt to be spending a Thanksgiving with somebody, right? Like just the same as giving yourself space to kind of absorb yourself and learn from that and come out of that differently. Also, I've learned just as much, and I feel weird ever putting something on a value scale, like it was better or less, but it was certainly different what I learned from being in a relationship and fulfilling in a different way. And
if I may, I don't want to put words in y'all's mouths, but I think I maybe picking up on what you're saying, that there can be a freedom in sort of challenging and checking out of the sort of compulsory aspect, like culturally, of like romantic relationships, especially, and like
100%.
the expectation that we need to find
100%.
that one person to do the things with, because like that's not true. So is that what y'all are talking about? That it's like it's not like throwing out relationships writ large, but like maybe letting yourself
No, I
challenge
think that has
that
thing to do
pressure
with
to have it look a certain way, you know, and like fit in within a certain script or structure. right?
And that's a structural bias of the language itself, like literally,
Yeah.
like American
Yeah.
English is made a certain type of bias built into it.
Totally.
And that's all inherited subconsciously. So you have to consciously reject, like cast it out. Like you have to fucking draw the salt circle on the floor and
Yeah,
cast it out.
boundary space,
Yeah,
boundary space. That's a lot of energy in itself just to maintain that, I think, too. But
All it takes is a little salt on the floor, and we're back to good.
yeah.
Little salt on the
Yeah, and it's also like putting myself in a position where I'm just like hearing two voices on the phone and speaking the words that you guys are speaking in the way that you're speaking them to each other. It's worth pointing out the irony of the statement that you're making while you're obviously so entangled in some sort of fulfilling relationship. Like what
and
is
let me
there
speak
more
on
than
that.
sitting on a
That was
porch
love too.
pontificating with somebody, that like that
Yes,
is the
yes,
essence.
yes.
And what better
Yes.
what more of a peak of any relationship is there than those moments where you're uh, getting far out with each other, right?
Yes, yes,
How far out?
absolutely.
How
But
far out?
when do we have
All
these
the way far.
opportunities? When do we give ourselves these opportunities? Like
When indeed?
you
That's
know,
why we work so hard for
so
little moments of freedom. Yeah.
yeah. So when do we give other people opportunities too? If we're giving a lot of our energy or a more, let's just say a larger percentage of energy to one human than others, like, and you only have so much percentage of energy to go around for all the things, like what, so how much opportunity do you have to make new relationships and have special moments with special humans
Yeah.
of all varieties on the front porch and set it at a more regular variety and the things that you learn and gain from a larger variety of human interaction on that level, I think there's also just a lot of value in that too.
So
Thank you for
Yeah.
extending me the opportunity to sit on the porch with you, by the way. So
Aw.
kind of you and generous.
I'm just
Oh, wow.
I'm so happy this worked out this way.
That's nice.
It was meant
So
to be.
here's
It
something
was
that I
meant to
think
be.
is really you know that I've been struggling with maybe my whole life about relationships.
Also, can I tell the audience that Craig is a hopeless romantic? This man has so much love to give,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I do.
and love, and is it such a like hopeless romantic? It blows me away and always has that you continuously try and you don't shy away from falling in love, and I think it is a wonderful attribute, character, whatever part of your soul that you love to love, and I think that's incredible. I
Okay,
really do.
so
It's
this is
dumbfounding to
actually
me. I don't get it, but I love it about you.
Yes, thanks, buddy.
this is
Thank
actually
you.
perfect, and this is a perfect setup because something that I've felt quite complicated about is, to me, love is a creation. Like it really is. It's something that you have to like give fuel and drive towards and build like you would build any other type of thing that you're building.
It's an
You have
activity.
it's an activity. You
Oh,
have to dive
have
in and you have to get far out. Getting far
Mhm.
out isn't easy, by the way.
Mhm.
Like you have to
I
you
haven't.
not when it's real. So wait, just because I'm curious as to what you have to say about this. So my conflict is this like motivation and ambition that I have to create for myself, right? Or create for the world or create generally, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm caught up in this love vibe, I feel like I don't have, like, if there's a muscle that makes work, that makes art, that makes something, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same muscle is what I feel like I'm utilizing to create love or interest or like passion in my life.
Ooh.
And so it feels like I'm giving up one or the other because I can only use that muscle for one.
Uh-huh.
I would
Yeah.
immediately say
Okay.
maybe like uh the you should, I don't know, maybe there's possibility to find a relationship where, or relationships where you can have those things together.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
that's the
So
ideal, but I mean it's like an internal struggle that I feel
Right.
like
Heard,
I
yeah.
I I, I don't want. I feel disinterested in making
can
something else
I
when
get
I
that.
have so much interest in creating a romance or
A
something.
romance, yeah.
because art is, the best art is just creating your life, right? And
Oh.
for you, part of that creation, I mean, like when your life is your
I would say
artwork.
the best art
Your life
saves
is
your life. I
your
would say the
artwork.
best art saves your life. I would say some of it's like making your life, that is good, but to me, like in those moments where I realized I have actually made it to the other side of death itself because of something that was I had cultivated to become like a involuntary muscle memory reflex, where they're like it's literally like a living part of my cellular subconscious at this point, and when it functions as a survival mechanism, that shit is crazy to me. So that's kind of my personal favorite. I of course like creation and new.
Okay. Life is your own masterpiece, but what about reframing love? Like,
Yeah.
so love isn't something, and this is something that I've been reading about recently, and it's like it's not something that you could give. It's not something you could take. It's not like this thing. It you just are. You are love, and that's been a thing that I've been saying to people lately, especially my brother, because he can be a hater, and I'm like, are you being in love right now, brother? Because like, are you love? Like, and maybe you're just it. It's not something. It's not a currency. We don't give it away and take it. Like that's not what love is. Like it's not. It's not a. It's not a give and take. It is a
So do you
thing that
find any
exists. It
do you
exists.
find
It is
any
you.
conflict with this love motivation and a relationship? Are those things tied?
A conflict with what? Can you say that
Well,
again?
your original kind of uh, thought, right,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
regarding relationships and how they're for the birds and whatever,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
all of those complexities. I'm saying, is
Yeah.
it possible to love, and that isn't necessarily connected to this thing that you were referring to as relationships or
Oh, 100%. I do
Yeah.
not think that love and relationships is the same thing. Relationships are for the birds. I think that we spend way too much time trying to figure out what we're having for fucking dinner and like not enough time on our own circadian rhythm. Like we're not all ready to eat at the same time. We're
Oh,
not all
Monica,
feeling
you're
crazy at the
speaking my
same
fucking
time.
language right now.
You can't eat, man. You can't eat McDonald's every day.
And that's what I'm talking about being loved. Like I can love you, and I do love you, and I don't love very differently. Like I see all of you fucking fucked up creatures and myself in the same light. Like we're all doing something wrong. We're all fucked up in our own way. We're all, trying to understand love and what it means, make space, whatever. Like we're all doing the same shit. Like I love you guys. Definitely we have connections that are deeper with
Mhm.
certain souls for sure. But
Mhm.
as far as love goes, like yeah, I can love you and still probably want to fucking curb kick you. Like, like I can love you and want to fuck you or not fuck you. Like I
Yeah.
can just because I love you doesn't mean that one thing or another. Like love is just is, and I think that is it's separate from relationships 100%. And
Okay,
This
can I
is
talk about something very specific now, which is that there is a dark side of this because love actually can be expressed, like you're saying, both inside the structure of the relationship and outside of it, right? Like because it's water, it can take the shape of any vessel. So like any level of like attention or awareness or dimensionality that we're in, we can like be love, like you're saying, you can be love in any of those dimensions because humans are so fluid in terms of where we exist, especially because of the imagination and intention. We can really apply that being, we can put our being in a lot of different places. We can put our love in a lot of different situations, right? But so that's the peril of maybe it being able to manifest through something like linguistic and structural, like sort of like romantic relationship as a sort of like mythological modality and like a linguistic structure that we inherit from the culture and the nature of the language itself, the systemic bias of the language itself. And love does manifest through that language. It actually is authentically expressed in that way. But then there's always a dark side to this, is if we think that's the only place that we can get love, then we will do all sorts of other crazy, horrific shit to stay connected to it, because we all need to feel connected to love. But sometimes the mythology will say, this is the only love source. This one place, the only place you're going to get sexual
Yeah,
love
I
is
think
forever.
that's exactly. I
Right.
think
Yeah.
Ashley and Monica, I
Yeah.
think that's why it's so interesting, Monica, to hear you say like this, talk about love that way, and then that's why I fuck relationship. Because for me, I think I've done sort of the opposite of sort of like challenging and unlearning what relationship means to like flatten, democratize that like I'm in relation, anybody that I talk to, my friends, family, anybody that who knows me, I'm in relationship with them. I'm in relationship with the two of you now because
Right.
we're talking.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's
Literally.
what
Yeah.
where I sort of I've shifted in my brain to rethink relationship, that to like take the romantic
Yeah.
power out of it, and that like
Mm-hmm.
friendships are relationships, of
Yes.
pets
Yes.
are
Yeah.
relationships. Like if you're
Indeed.
talking to someone, you are in
Yes.
relationship. And I think that sounds similar to how you're talking about love, that it's sort of
Yes.
taking the hierarchy out of the cultural sort of like romantic relationship, your partner, that's tops, and that's all that matters. And just like blowing that shit up, and like, yeah, I think we should cherish everybody we come into contact with.
Yeah.
Right.
We all have a relation to one another.
Yeah, and I
You
think
know,
that's
like
where it's a relation. It's
obviously.
and I think it's like really important to hold, like, respect that like we do impact everyone around us always, and we should be mindful
And
of
we
that.
should be loving
Exactly.
all of
And not
of
just if
our.
they're our like parent or our partner, like
Yes.
that like those
Indeed.
aren't the
Love
only
should
people
be
that
more
we should be.
accessible language.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and that couples with a very, and I'm using this pun intended when I say that's couples, with the
Yeah.
other sort of like core concern that you were bringing up, which is it's also like, because of our mythology, access to like sexual relationship is coupled with structural romantic
Totally.
mythology language, right?
Absolutely.
And
Mhm.
so it also means that people are like, if you, in order to get that that facet of love, because sexuality is also an expression of love that's actually
Mhm.
independent of any sort of mythologization or like all of those cultural structures. Is like we have a like sexual like pleasure system and love languages that just exist in that space on their own, and they don't need translation. They don't need, you can encounter
You
them
don't need to
directly.
go
You're not
through the love. You don't need to go
exactly,
through the like
you want to get rid of the
monogamous
words in this way,
partnership to
Yeah.
get that thing. And
right?
I think that's what you're saying, is that like, yeah, we are set up to think to like get pleasure sexually or emotionally, or even like, I don't know,
Right.
just there's so many ways of expressing love with each other, but we're sort of told that like to get sexual or physical intimacy, that we have to go through this route of romantic love necessarily, and that's so limiting for so many people.
Right, and for some other people, it's satisfying. So it's so crazy, you
For
know.
sure.
Like
Yeah.
that part is like, you like also can't demonize it too much, because some people, that's their actual pleasure point, which is just wild, you know.
And I think I don't think any of us are trying to demonize that. It's sort of like pointing out that that's the like the thing that rules that. So it's like, it's not like, oh, that's bad. It's like, oh, but maybe there are so many other ways, so many other paths and avenues to get these things,
Mm-hmm.
Totally. And it's
You know,
it's funny,
I
like I immediately think of the cliche of like you have to get out of your head, like if you're really gonna like touch someone or like enjoy a
Are you
sexual
talking about your penis?
I guess I was on a meta level, yes. But it's like you have to get out of your head and into your body, you know what I'm saying? It's like we
yeah.
all know that feeling of still interpreting our own sensory experience. Like we have that ability to pull out to such an eagle-eye
Are you
view.
talking about your penis again?
I mean, in some sense, yes, but in a more meta, broad sense, it's like you can pull out and you can have a deep director's perspective of your own sensory experience, and it's really bad in like the sexual context. Like you want to get into your own feelings, you want to enjoy it, right? But it's like, it's crazy how much space you can actually wrap around that. That shit blows my mind. You know what I mean? I think that's another place to like cast the words out of the bedroom. Like we don't need to be talking with words. You know what I'm saying?
I have a
We
problem
don't need to
with
be thinking
words
with words
these
in the
days.
bedroom. Yeah,
We
yeah.
have a lot of word language barriers we're creating.
Okay,
And
Monica and
nice to have 2 bedrooms in
Ashley,
the
all
house.
these word
can we
games,
like
all these
regroup?
word games.
Let's regroup.
Yeah, let's regroup.
I feel like we disappeared into your pet.
Mallory's good for regrouping. Good job, Mallory. You definitely.
I have a lot
Mallory,
of
I got a shout.
practice.
I can tell.
What's tight is I only encountered poolside
Good luck,
Mallory.
Joe. Listen.
I only encountered poolside Mallory, and I haven't encountered this whole other side of you. So this is just like amazing.
Is it
I
okay?
just saw her relaxation.
How
The
is this
relaxation is
version
what I
of me,
truly
Ashley?
noticed.
Is this version of me okay, Ashley?
It's delightful. It's like
Okay, good.
you ever know that feeling when you buy Pringles and it's
I
in
really
like,
wish I was watching your guys' faces right now, though.
you know how when you pop the Pringles lid and it's a whole different flavor you didn't realize you bought. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that can be
No,
dangerous.
I
But
do.
yes, I
No,
do know
but
that
also
feeling.
if you're talking about your experience
Delightful.
of me, that is, I will take that because yeah, you
Yeah, it's
met me in
delightful.
person. We
Can
had
you
a
reel
very
it in,
limited
Mallory?
thing. And
Can you reel us back in?
I'm
Please reel us
reeling
in.
us
Please reel us
back,
in.
and we're after midnight. This has been such a beautiful
Oh
call.
yeah.
I would love to hear. We would love to hear from both of you again, either together or
Of course, of course.
individually. Maybe we have you all on camera.
Please.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Ashley, I have a shirt from your art show. Maybe I'll wear it next time that you left
Oh, please
behind
do. Yes.
by the pool house.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think we're gonna wrap
No,
this
no,
call up now. But
yes,
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 Craig.
Yeah, cinema.
yeah. We're running over, so we will have to let you guys go.
Okay.
But I want to
Well, I
say,
just want to
what?
say I love
Yeah,
you.
I love you too. I love both of you guys.
I do too. I love both of you
I love
too.
you too, Mallory. See, look
Thank
at that.
you.
I love you no matter
Yeah.
what.
You haven't even seen your
Yeah.
tits yet.
That's so
Oh,
nice.
there it was. I love you no matter what. And what a beautiful
Yeah,
note
you got it.
to end this entire thing on. That there's an unconditionality that we were speaking about right there. There's a believing in each other no matter what. We don't need this love. We don't need this language. We don't need this relationship. Just be love. And here we are.
And here we are.
And here we are, loving. And
Thank you, Monica
that's
and
the end of our
Ashley.
show. So
Bye.
here we go. Roll the credits, Chris.
Yeah.
It's the end of our show.
Thank you to Chris and Brody and all of our callers. Hey, Craig, thank you.
Hey, Mallory. Thank you. And thank you, our
You wanna be a bird.
I'm joined today by Pete Buttigieg. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So congrats on a huge DNC speech yesterday.
Thank you.
You had started off your speech, I think, notably pointing out the fact that most people will have seen you on Fox News, which is not something you can usually say for Democrats. Why is it so important for you to go on networks like Fox?
Well, the way I think about it is a lot of people are tuning in good faith, and I can't blame them for not embracing our message if they've literally never heard it. I don't think a lot of conservative media cover not just our perspectives, but facts that I think are very important for voters to know. I think Fox viewers deserve to know those facts the same as viewers of any other network, and so I try to bring that in, and to the extent they're willing to have me on it, I think it's important for me to offer that up.
Well, it actually is a good bridge to what we're seeing here, because here at the DNC, we are seeing a few Republicans come up and speak for the first time. It's not usual that you would see Republicans take the stage at the Democratic National Convention. Can you speak on that, on how this new moment that we're in is really inclusive of not just Democrats, not just independents, but even some Republicans like Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, Jeff Duncan?
Yeah, I think it really reflects two things, something about the Trump campaign and something about Kamala Harris' campaign. What it tells you about the Trump campaign is how unfit he is to lead, because never before have more people who served closely with the president or belonged to the same party as that president gone on to denounce him or make clear that he has no business being in office. You know, his own chief of staff, members of his cabinet. I mean, he's not even on speaking terms with his own vice president, right? So it's that, but it's more than that. I think it also says something about us. We are calling out to independents, to the Republicans, a lot of people I like to think of as future former Republicans, to make sure they feel welcome in the coalition that we're building. Maybe we won't agree on every single issue, and maybe they won't vote with us every single time, but this time, with this much on the stake, and with issues that go beyond just right or left policy issues, but really deeper character issues that are not just about the character of the candidates, but really about the character of the country, depending on what choice we make. I think it's really fitting and really encouraging to see that we've invited Republican speakers to reach out to those voters.
Do you have any examples, anecdotal as they may be, to show that you going on Fox, for example, or you being able to talk to these Republicans where they are is having an impact?
Yeah, I do sometimes hear from somebody I know from outside of politics or a relative that they saw one of those appearances. It's not that it instantly turns a conservative Republican into a liberal Democrat, but again, saying, I never really thought about that, or I didn't know that, or I looked that up after you said, because sometimes I'll literally, on Fox, I'll say literally, if you're at home, look this up, because I think that a Fox viewer might literally not know or believe that crime went down after Donald Trump got beat, or some of the realities about the economy, about